Dabblepoint, a Stuttering John Melendez roundtable discussion.
Welcome to Point Dabblepoint, a weekly discussion where we get caught up on This Week in Stuttering John, openly cry if Mersh is mean to us, and force uninterested people to sing along. I'm Karl Hamburger, and with me this week, a man who is best known for his work on Who Are These Socials? It's Blind Mike Geary. What's up, Mike?
Karl, you warned me last night that the lineup was going to be star-studded, and it's the last time I ever underestimate you. It's quite a crew we've got.
We've got quite the crew, especially for this week, and of course, we have to bring in Bob Levy's sidekick from the Shuli network. Shuli Agar is here.
Your turn, bitch.
What's happening, fellas?
Coming in hot.
Yes. Oh, is that too loud? Sorry.
No, you're good. All right. And then also with us, he's best known by his moniker Fat Fuck, but I refer to him by his name, Liam McEneany. Welcome, Liam. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I prefer to be called the Duke of the Dabbleverse now because I beat John in armed combat, and I'm entitled to his lands and his titles.
I agree. You were wearing the belt as we speak.
That's exactly.
I can't wait
right.
for John to actually claim that title. Actually, I'm the Duke. He's got no credentials.
Oh, Mike, that is exactly why I'm doing it.
What's the governing body that sanctioned this, huh, Liam? Riddle me this. Also with us, the most famous open micer in all of the Dabbleverse, as featured on Kill Tony. It's Dave Sarra. What's happening, Dave?
I love Stuttering John.
Sucking your cock.
And Karl left. All right. This is really a great show. Welcome, everybody, to Point Dabblepoint. How the hell does the guy running shit get out of here? Hey.
I know. Oh, my God. That's enough. We got enough people on here. I take the afternoon off, I think. I was going to pull a Shuli network and just take off.
Summer hours.
That's right. So people are saying this is the best week for the Dabbleverse since the DC trip. And that might be correct. And partly in thanks to guys like Dave Sarra, who went and checked out the 10-year anniversary of The Tonight Show and got some footage of that. I was glued to Tukey Soup, as everyone else was, on Tuesday night, watching that all unfold. And then partly because of Liam and his debate with John on BYB. Yes, the great debate.
It was like going to Harvard and watching their debating society. It was very, very intellectual.
That was the vibe I was getting as well. Correct. So I want to start with you, Liam, because we have a lot to talk about as far as the Tonight Show. So I'll couch that for a moment. But I've noticed something with John, and we've talked about this for years now. When John learns a new word, he overuses it. And oftentimes, if you're calling John something, he can't wait to call you that. So now everyone's a narcissist.
I was hoping he'd call me a narcissist.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Very disappointed that someone taught him how to pronounce that word. Please, people, stop teaching him how to do things correctly. It's not funny.
Yeah, it's not as fun when you tell him it's not LOL cow, John. You're kind of ruining the bit for the rest of us. But yeah, so Liam, you're on talking to John last night or not last night, maybe the night before on BYB. And it's crazy because John thinks that now he knows what narcissists are. They're people who don't admit fault when they're not at fault.
Right. I mean, the thing is, look, I grew up with someone in my family who was a clinical narcissist. And a big thing that narcissists do is they realize something about themselves. Then they immediately process it intellectually in a way that it's not actually their problem. Yep. And then they accuse you of doing it. So,
so him calling you a narcissist is proof that John is a narcissist, is what you're telling me right now.
I'm just saying he called me a lot of things that didn't make any sense unless it's applied to Stuttering John Melendez.
Yeah,
but there is one word that exactly backs up everything Liam is saying, and that is a word that he calls every one of us, and that is loser. And the reason why everyone's a loser is because that's the first thing he sees every morning when he wakes up. So that's just it's 100. You're 100% correct, Liam. The fat fucks, the losers.
Well, I was just going to bring that up. The other term that he's using quite a bit with Liam, I would dare say overuse, is fat fuck.
Well, it's the only thing he had on me. So here's the problem. I know he wants to invite me on his show to debate again.
Okay.
Because he's not good on his feet. and he's not good at like quickly reading and processing information. So
You notice that?
So
What do you
he
mean?
went-
I think he's great when he's like, yeah. I thought that was great.
Right. So he like very quickly, I guess, on his show read up on me, but he didn't retain any of that information. So I'm sitting there and I know everything about John because I spent 2 years locked down in my apartment listening to WATP
Right.
and playing Zelda. So I anytime I hit him with like, oh, you're a deadbeat dad, or your kids don't love you, or you don't pay child support, he knew nothing about me, and all he could hit me with was fat fuck. And that's why I ended the show by telling him, I'm never going to do your show, John. That was the one and only time the two of us are ever going to speak face to face.
Well, I must say,
never
also,
say never.
I must say that
Is he coming on?
Go ahead, Dave.
My brother's a schizophrenic, and he has a lot of the same qualities as John. No self-awareness, narcissistic, only thinks about himself. I mean, these are all kind of same words for the same
Hey,
thing.
Dave.
But
Dave, does your brother have a TikTok? I'm asking for a friend.
might be a.
Yeah, no, I mean, the other thing too is, and this is why I was saying, like, I feel kind of conflicted about this. And this is the only reason I feel conflicted, because John is a piece of shit. Is and I said this, I'm like 13 years sober, right? So I see a guy like John, and I'm like, there but for the grace of God go I, because I almost drank my way out of showbiz, and I was a bad drunk, and I was a mean drunk, and it was affecting my health. And I'm watching a guy like John die from that disease, unchecked, and making fun of him. That being said, fuck Stuttering John. I watched some of his show yesterday, and I heard what he said about me, and he can go fuck himself.
But can I ask, what was it that changed it for you? What was it? Somebody that reached out, or was it a bottom that you had to hit?
You know, I was living at my bottom for a very long time because I only knew about I should say these 12-step programs from movies and TV shows.
Right.
But it was a 4th of July where I went to a Keith and the Girl barbecue. I was blackout drunk
Enough
like 2 in
said.
the afternoon.
Enough said. Now, go ahead.
That'll change it, man.
I'm just saying. Apparently, I did some party hopping on 4th of July, and 6th of July I started getting emails about my behavior, and I was like, "Oh, I don't recognize this person. I don't like the way I'm behaving. It's time to change everything."
Now, the only reason I ask that is because I want to ask you, in your opinion, having lived that life. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but what do you think? Is there a wake-up call for John, and what would that be?
Look, I hung out with your boy Christian Blatt yesterday. So if Christian was on the show, he'd be telling the story, but I'm stealing his anecdote. Apparently, the Van Halen had an intervention for Eddie Van Halen, and what he told them was, if I'm not going to quit drinking for my family, what makes you think I'm going to quit drinking for you guys?
Oh, that's interesting, because I was going to say if his kids went to him and said something, maybe he would quit. But you're right, maybe not.
So I'm sure his family's done it. I guarantee you Susanna did it before everything went to shit. But I don't know. I'm not in the man's life. So that is my only caveat. And that's why, Karl, I was like, I don't know if I want to do the full show or I feel weird about it. Because I do feel bad about making fun of the guy for being an end-stage alcoholic who's going to die in 2 years.
Well, you asked what was the moment that brought someone to realize they needed to get help. It should have been trying to sing The Doors on a Tuesday night for the 10-year anniversary. I am still blown away. And Dave, I wanted to ask you this.
Sure.
And we'll get back to the fat fuck.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Worry.
Take your time. Take your time.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about this, Dave. So, as you're recording him try to sing that song, did you realize you were getting gold, that this was one of the greatest things you've ever witnessed in your life?
I honestly didn't. I really like Stuttering John. I just wanted to go and have fun, honestly. And it's like, I didn't think that he'd get so pissed. I mean, I was so nice to him. I mean, I didn't really even trash him. And I was trying to get Quad to ask him, like, hey, if he needs anything, I'll help out. Trust me. I ain't trying to bash anybody. There were so many worse things. I was trying to get a picture of Brian Karam's wife. Oh my God.
Oh, there's photos of her online. We've seen it. Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this to this poor lady. So
Hey, Dave, even the mob don't go after wives, right?
yeah, and Karen was telling me that his son's doing open mics and stuff, and I was like, that's real great.
boy,
I
is
mean,
he.
nice guy.
We
Wait,
covered
what?
that on WATS last night, by the way. Wyatt Karam. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian Karam. Oh, okay.
Wyatt Karam, yeah, is doing open mics.
But no, I didn't think that it was going to be. I didn't
why?
think he'd have such a big issue with it. I think he just has such a big issue with it and is using me because he knows my name. And then obviously people were giving him my cell phone number and my address and all this shit. So he feels like he has power over me. So that's why he's really kind of going after me. I don't think he really gives a fuck all that much. I think he thinks he did well.
Oh, no, it was a huge win for him, for sure. And I have questions about if the video hadn't come out, what would he have told us about his performance? But no, I agree. I think he had people come out to the event. He was very proud of himself for that. But how did he get your phone number? Who the fuck gave him your number?
There's a few people out there that could have probably done it. I don't think it was Quadfather, but it could have been, but I don't think it was. And honestly, I really did kind of betray Quadfather, and he did ask me nicely to like not go and cause a scene. And I mean, I just really just took some videos, and I don't think I caused a scene at all. I
But
thought I was
hold
quite
on,
nice.
hold on.
You did.
I want to clarify something. He asked you not to go and cause a scene. Did he ever say "don't go"? Period.
Well, I mean, no, he didn't say don't go.
Okay, so
He
he
just-
knew. So hold on. How in advance? How much in advance did he know you were going to this thing?
Oh, not until I was already on my way to Calabasas.
Okay, and
yeah,
then
this was like a last minute thing. I found out about it the day before on Discord, and I was like, I'll fucking go to that. And I thought there would be way more people there. And I was trying to connect. I know there was at least one other person there, but that person was very, very good because they never made it apparent to me that they were also trying to do the God's work.
Can I just
So-
make a point, Dave?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'll go through.
No. Go ahead,
Okay.
Liam.
Okay, so you didn't betray Quadfather because he didn't send you to go fuck with
What a sentence.
John.
It's true.
And I'm also no. Here's my point. Quadfather is on John's show almost every day, trolling him.
True.
And the only reason he gets away with it in a way that DG and Stevie Lou didn't is John is too egotistical to think that a guy that severely handicapped would get one over on him.
Right.
It's the only reason.
Well,
Right, so
also the other reason is he's not really doing anything to troll him when he's on there. There's not
Right.
like he's not fucking with him. He's not talking back. He's agreeing with everything. So I don't know how exactly he's trolling. You know?
Well,
Yeah,
it is interesting.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say that when I was listening to him with Liam, I thought it was interesting that like Quadfather's a guy that keeps going on John's show. It seems like they've been, like John likes him. They've been respectful towards each other. And when he was on that show, John kept yelling at Quadfather, "I told you to mute him. I told you to mute him," even though it's not John's show. Like, I don't know where he had the balls to tell Quadfather how to run his show, but the disrespect that he talks to someone if they don't do exactly as he say, I found fascinating.
It's also like John was bragging about he makes 6 figures a year from his show.
Yeah.
But he gets to keep it all because he doesn't pay his guests. And I'm like, when is Richard Ojeda going to hear about this? That is right. Like that's a dude who has done anything John has asked and humiliated himself on his show for John, and John gives him nothing.
Let's not forget Hale Sparks. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, even though it feels like a lifetime, that Hale Sparks was doing John's show on a regular basis, and Hale was doing 85% of the talking on John's show. It was the Hale Sparks show, and John would sit there and stare at the chat and read some super chats. And eventually Hale Sparks got sick of it and was overheard in Las Vegas saying, "I hate going on that guy's show, and I want to carry his show for him anymore." So John's the last guy who should be bragging about not paying guests when he needs guests more than anyone.
Also, Hal drove from Vegas to LA to set up John's podcast equipment.
Yes, to plug in an Ethernet cable.
Well,
Yes, it's crazy.
and also
What a good friend.
for a narcissist, it's all about what you can do for them, right? So Quad really doesn't provide any service for him. So people like that, Quad, DG, Joey C, he talks down to all of them. People like Kevin Brennan, people like people above him who could fuck with him if they wanted to or help him if they wanted to. He never mouths off to them like that.
Right.
It's calculated for sure. He's not a genuine person in any way. So he claimed, Dave, and I hope you're not too upset about this, he claims that he's going to the police I know he doesn't normally do that. Normally,
Gonna
doesn't,
hit me with some tissues also. Ah.
normally doesn't get the police involved, but he claimed he's going to go to the police. He says that
What?
because Dave was doxing everyone at the bar. He was filming without their permission, which is against the law. He's going to get you arrested, Dave. What do you think about that?
I think that one of the things that ticked him off is that I twice, very quickly, didn't even really ask for a real response. Went to two of his guests and asked, "So, what do you think about Stuttering John?" And both of them were like rolling their eyes, not trying to say anything. And even during the video, there's one point where I say, "I love Stuttering John," and the lady right next to me goes, "I didn't even know that was John."
That's hilarious. That is funny because he does not look like the same person from 10 years ago.
And
Not
can I
even
just say
close.
one thing very quickly? John claimed yesterday on his show that I texted him all kinds of shit. It might be a ghost text, but I want to put that out there. I didn't text him until this morning from the number that he called me from, threatening me that this is my number. I don't know where you got those other numbers from. This is me. I've never texted you in my life. And that's all I said.
Okay. Yeah, John, it's amazing how many times he gets texts from people and phone calls. Remember when Anthony Cumia called John to tell him what a great guy he is? Like,
Right.
I don't know if John imagines these things or has vivid dreams or just making this shit up. Who knows what's going on? People fucking with him. Who knows? Let me get caught up real quick on some super chats. And because I kicked myself out of the show, I'm manually going through and finding these, which is a huge fucking pain in the ass, but I'll get over it. Earl coming in with $2 says, "See you at the game, Karl. Go Amherst." Yes. Game 5 against Syracuse Crunch tonight in downtown Rochester. I will see you there, my friend.
Wow.
Barnes and all right. Don't act like you're not impressed.
Place to be, guys.
Carl's setting downtown on fire if the Amerks lose.
Oh, man, we're flipping cars over. It's going to go nuts. Barnes and News $5 says, "Believe it or not, I'm not actually going to give SJ a compliment this week. Oh, I'm actually going to give John a compliment this week. John, you never fail to fail. Skol!" Barnes and Noobs once again making some great videos for Dabbleverse.
He had, I think that was the guy. He had a video I saw that he like John's reading some super chat and then goes into a rant about how he cured stutterers. That was his phrase. He cured them. And Barnes and Noobs put like Steve Jobs type music behind it.
Yes.
And it seemed like he was giving a seminar.
Oh, John went off on a whole rant about all the great things he's done for people
Yes.
with names and addresses and dates. Like he has those things so memorized and so ready to go. He can read off his resume and his good deeds at any time, anywhere. It's unbelievable. Hulkamania coming in, gifting 5 Who Are These Podcast memberships. Thank you very much, Hulkamania. I hope that I get to meet you at Hackamania because you've been such a good supporter of the show. We appreciate that a lot. Hamhead is a new member. Thank you for signing up, Hamhead. Watch WATP live Wednesdays at 5, Saturdays at 2. You get the link right on our membership tab in YouTube when you're a member. Daveless Cage. Hey, Dave.
Hello.
What?
Mason in
That's
Portland.
my face on there.
Is that your face? Oh, yeah.
What are
look at that.
what's with the pickles? What is that connection?
Just a bunch of lovely pickles out there.
Okay.
There's a rumor out there that Dave prefers the company of men to women.
Right.
Oh.
So, in other words, someone smelled his breath at the party and
That's right.
figured it out. Mason in Portland gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Mason. The Blatcast coming in, member for 2 months, says, "Thanks to Liam for reminding us how boring Stuttering John is. And thanks to Dave Sarra for reminding us just how fat John still is." Yes.
I went to see a movie with
Agreed.
the Black Cast last night.
Yep.
Oi, and he's chipping ya? Wow. We got to get that fat fuck.
Wait.
That
You're going on dates with guys and we're calling Dave the gay one? All right.
Yeah, I love. No, what's great is Blatt had 3 refills on his soda.
Damn.
He left in the middle of the movie to get
How
a
long was the
refill.
movie?
And it was 2 hours, and then on his way out, he got another refill so he could have it on his way to the car.
This is Stuttering John-esque tattletaling that's going on right now. So I went to the movies with Baba Booey, and guess what, Howard? Guess how many hot dogs Artie ate during the movie, Howard?
That is
Yeah.
unsettling information, though. Jesus.
Yeah, he went up to the guy and he said, "Do you know who I am? I'm on the Howard Stern show."
The Duke of Denial, $2. I'm the real Duke, loser. Sure, that'll come out. Weber's Art Studio, $5 says, "John is Lefty from Donnie Brasco. Also, happy 50th to me. Love the BS show forever." Thank you very much, Weber.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Jasmine Havens, $2. OnlyFans girls for Armenian Free America.
Ooh, got me.
Oh, is that a thing on you? I've never read that hashtag before. That's a new one for me. Michael C. $2 says Blind Mike is going to leave after an hour in.
Ooh.
I don't think so. Why?
What is this guy? A psychic? What does he know?
That's a good question.
By the way, I went to the movies with Mike 2 nights ago.
Wow.
Guy ate his weight in popcorn.
Yeah.
Is that where I was?
DPM $10 says John's block print inarguably proves that he wrote the graffiti. He kept accusing Karl when he had 100 outs and he wouldn't drop it. He's worse than delusional, or he's worse than delusional or a liar. He truly is an awful person. I do want to get into that. Before I do that, though, I want to thank the Shuli Network. Is this producer Joe? Gifting
Motherfucker.
10 memberships.
I mean, yeah,
profitability
congrats.
is way down in May for the Shuli Network.
Shit.
All right, so let's talk about that real quick. And thanks to producer Joe for sending this over to me before we started the show. So this is what we're looking at.
So
Now,
good.
all right, this is crazy because John obviously put a note up on the wall. Sign name, put address so I can send you a keychain. FedEx scooped up John Melendez. And it's so crazy to me that John's handwriting just so happens to look exactly like the S's and K's and F's and J's that were on the Stevie Tomato bathroom stall door.
My God.
What's more amazing than this, Karl, is the fact that day one, all of us said he did this.
Yes!
We all knew right away that
Correct.
he did this. You remember that idiot had the Sharpie stain on his finger the same day that he told
Yes.
the story?
Correct.
Yeah, you're gonna go into his Canoga Park place, go into the bathroom, close the door, and say, "My God, it's right there on the wall."
Forget
So
Stevie
we got
Tomato.
him.
He might be the Zodiac killer from that handwriting.
Right. All right. So John was trying to get me in trouble with Stevie Tomatoes. Obviously, he's the one that put the graffiti there. Now that that's proven, we can try to speculate on why he would do that. My question is he trying to actually get me arrested, or does he just not want me hanging out at his hangout spot when we're both in Cape Coral? Is he just afraid to see me there?
I think he would like you rotting in jail. I think, like in
Yep.
in a perfect world, I think he would like that. But yeah, probably the latter, that he just doesn't want you to spot. But how great is it? You do have to take kind of some solace in the idea that he's writing FSJ. That's how much you're in his head. FSJ. He's writing on a bathroom wall in Florida.
And I think he wants both to happen to you, Karl. I think
Okay.
he wants you to not be allowed in there and to be just. Can you imagine him with that mugshot behind him on his green screen going, well, I don't know which way to move. You see Karl in jail?
In Stuttering John's perfect world, you'll be being arrested by the police. They're gonna come to him. They're gonna say, "Do you want to press charges?" He's gonna come
wanna cuff him?
straight to you. You're gonna be on your knees with your hands tied behind your back, and he's gonna come to you with that smelly hand and that college ring he has. He says, "Kiss the ring, and I'll tell him to drop the charges."
Right. And the police will be like, was that a good enough kiss of the ring, Mr. Melendez? All right, you're free to go, sir.
Then you'd be banned from the bar, because if there's one thing coastal bars in Florida won't do is serve an ex-con.
Right, yes. No, they definitely frown upon that sort of thing. So, Shuli, I don't know if you've picked up on this on Uncle Rico, but one of the things that we've been looking at, because John's narcissistic personality disorder, it does a lot of things, a lot of symptoms of it, a lot of traits that we see. And one of them is these revenge fantasies. They're childish in nature. But I was shocked to find out that's also a trait of narcissists, that they have to live in this fantasy world that doesn't exist. And the fact that John's fantasizing about me or Melton in handcuffs going to jail, like that's why he wants Kate Meany to talk to the detectives, so that Patrick Melton is put in handcuffs and he can't wait to see that day. It's like what a child thinks about its bully at school. Like he's gonna so it'll be the principal's office, that his parents will have to come and pick him up. Have you guys picked up on that?
Picked up on it. We're like on the 45th version of everything we do is fake. The network's crumbling. I mean, he fantasized himself into a fucking work but when I announced Bob was taking a week off, and he's like, "No, it's over. Trust me." And it's like he put himself in that position to get tricked and then he's mad that he gets tricked. You know, it's like he has this crazy back and forth soap opera type scenario in his mind for every enemy.
All right. So I actually have a question for the panel. I'm going to go around to everyone. I was trying to think of, why did John need to throw this 10-year anniversary party? This is not a normal thing to do when you work with people and then the show is off the air and you have to try to get everybody together on a Tuesday night at a bar and hire a band.
Graduated from the Tonight Show and you celebrate your 10-year reunion.
That's what I mean. It's like the reunion of losing your job and now we're eating cheese quesadillas. Doesn't make any sense to me. So I have 4 different reasons why this might be. So is it 1, John's lonely and doesn't have friends. So this is his chance to like get people to hang out with him and act like he has friends again. 2, it could be networking. We know that John wants to get a job in Hollywood. I assume most of these people still have jobs in Hollywood. And so maybe this was his opportunity to talk to people. Hey, do you need someone who can ask celebrities crazy questions, but actually can't write them, but just can ask them for your new show you're working on? No? Okay. 3, does he need an audience to perform in front of? Because I wouldn't have thought that until I saw the karaoke stuff. It wasn't karaoke. There was a live band. Whatever, John. Whatever.
Yeah, you called it a number.
Whatever you want to call it. We know what it was. Or is it 4, he really thought Jay Leno was going to show up and he was going to reconnect with Jay. I'll start with you, Dave, since you were there. What do you think was the purpose of this?
I don't think he actually thought Jay was going to show up. I think in the back of his mind, he really didn't do it for that. I think part of it was he wants to get back into Hollywood. This was like a nice, easy way to kind of get situated with some of the people and reconnect. But honestly, I think he's making a couple bucks from YouTube and he's like, let me show these guys what I got. And he's trying to show off in front of them, really.
Whoa, you're going with 5 to show off to his old friends?
Yeah, he wants, I think in his mind, he thought, I got the banners, and I have a whole theory on the banners and the keychains.
Okay.
And he got the banners, because it's just the 3 things he mentions. The banners, the band, and the food. And he's like, that's what makes for a great party.
Mentioning the banners over and over again, especially in the Facebook posts. Guys, I just need you to show up, pay for your own drinks, tip the waitstaff. I got the banners. That part's covered. For everyone who keeps DMing me and asking if they can bring banners, I got the banners covered.
I like some old Tonight Show producer going home and saying to his wife, like, honey, you should have been there to see the banners. They were unbelievable.
Unreal.
I like the idea that a producer went.
Well, sure.
Yeah, good point.
That's a good point.
Mike, what do you think the reason was for the party?
I'm surprised at you, Karl. I think you've missed the biggest reason. I think it's a little bit of one, but with a twist. I think, yes, he's lonely, but also I think he wanted to show, particularly you two, Karl and Shuli, I think he wanted to show you losers how many friends he has. Because, Karl, I've heard you say many times, John has no friends. What better way to prove it than 40 people at a bar?
What's funny is one of his friends actually did show up, Brian Karam.
There you go.
That's someone I would say is John's actual friend. They have conversations. They probably text each other. He came to his thing. The rest of those people are not John's friend.
No, but it's an easy way for him to say, like, there were people in the bar, Karl.
Brian Cameron's a big motherfucker. He would fuck me up.
Really?
Without a doubt. Yeah, he's towers over me.
How was his blow? Was it pretty good?
I can't confirm nor deny. I didn't see either of those guys in the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom 6-7 times at least.
All right,
I mean, we didn't see either.
We know what you're up to. All right.
Well, he's drinking, and as we all know, when you drink, you go to the bathroom.
2 pitchers of beer.
Right. Shuli, what do you think the purpose was?
So I thought this was John's job fair for the longest time. This is him networking. But then I was thinking about it, right? As you pose this question, here's what I think it was. As crazy as this sounds, I think it's 100% to show off. And I'll tell you why. Number one, the band he grabbed is a band that he knows from the pub.
Right.
That he plays with from time to time, I'm sure under protest, as Orson Welles would say. So he knew he could get on stage and do a song. Why would he network when he's getting ready to leave LA for Florida? What job is he going to try and get in LA with these people when he's leaving, right? He's going to go home to his house, his big house that he's bragging about. And this is a way for him to meet whoever shows up, and let's just say colleagues, associates, they're not friends, right? He can now tell this victim story to all these new people, and maybe just one of them will believe it or see it his way or not see that he's the butt of all the jokes. And maybe he can, these are people he would consider guests on his show as well. So it might be some guest hunting as well involved in that. But I think this was all a flex. It provides a crowd, providing food and banners, because who doesn't want to come out to something with banners?
Well, I agree. But what's crazy about that theory, though, and Mike's theory as well, was John taking any of these photos? Like, how would any of us know about this if it weren't for Dave and Poop on Perry, who were there videoing and taking
Because
photos
he can tell us, and in his mind, his word is gospel.
Right. I think that he was also expecting people at the party to start. That's why he did it on Facebook. You know, they're going to start posting pictures. Oh, what a great shot. And we can get to what they were asked, what the messages they got. I know Shuli read one the other night that fucking made me die about, what was it like? I'll never doubt you again, John. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, that is brutal.
Yeah, he says, I get all kinds of messages from people who were there. Thank you. What a blast. And then he goes, one of them said, I'll never doubt you again. I'm like, what kind of message is that to send to somebody after a party?
That is odd.
But speaking of that, also, I'll just say he advertised it publicly because he knew his trolls would come.
Yes.
And he knew they would take pictures of a big crowded event where everyone was loving John doing karaoke.
Oh, so
All the more reason why it's a flex. Exactly.
that's crazy, because you think he's much more calculated than I do. I think he did it publicly because he's an idiot. He doesn't know how to use social media.
But Carl, look at it this way. If it was something super important, let's say he knew ahead of time Jay would come to this. You think he'd publicly post it on Facebook, knowing that the trolls would show up to an event he can't keep them out of?
Right. Well, he had 2 bouncers and a police officer, Shuli. You forgot.
$300 for all 3. It's the best you ever got.
I mean, also, Karl, you responded to one of his posts.
I did, yeah. On
Like, he
Facebook.
knew you were watching and talking about it.
Yeah, someone linked to it. Someone put a link to his Facebook post. So I clicked over to it. I forget what I wrote, but something, I'll see you there or something.
I mean, there are elements of all 4 of your options and why he did it, because there is also part of him that would have loved if Stuttering John and Jay Leno could have told Dave Sarra to go fuck him. Get out of here. This is a Tonight Show party, pal.
I know.
Right.
Okay, so since we're talking about celebrities and John's big shot celebrities, we have to tell this Adam Corolla story. This is one of the craziest things. When I think of like dumb shit John might do, this would never enter into my head in a million years. Telling Adam Corolla, a guy he probably hasn't talked to in 6 years, 5 or 6 years probably, sends him an email telling him not to hire one Dave Sarra because he is a troll.
And the doxer, apparently. But yeah, I applied for the job on March 30th. They responded back on the 16th, and it must have gone to spam. It's probably my fault. I mean, whatever.
Were you going to get an interview?
They asked for an interview the next
Ah,
day
Dave.
on April 17th. I know, I fucked up so bad. And I was so pissed off about it too. And
I needed you to get in with Adam Carolla. I needed this,
All
Dave.
I was thinking was I can get Karl booked on the
Yes,
show now.
correct.
No, but I messaged them back on May 3rd, 4th, somewhere around there, 3 weeks later, essentially, and figured, it's a lost cause, whatever. But because I had just been talking about it with somebody in a private discussion, when Quadfather asked me to come on the show, I thought, he's gonna take the bait on this one. And I told him very specific. Oh, I'm going in 8 minutes. Where it was at, we were at 3:22 or whatever. So, and I'm gonna be in Burbank, so they know the studio. And I fucking knew that John would take the bait and email him, and he showed his true colors.
Yeah, he not only did it, or supposedly did, he did it live on his show.
I
He
know.
was showing off that he could email Adam Carolla and write an email that if Adam actually got that email and saw it, he would obviously lose all respect for John if he had any to begin with. It's a crazy, spiteful thing to write to someone.
I know.
I think he would be mystified. Like, I'm sure Adam isn't handling that interview either. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, he's got people that are dealing with that. So Adam would just be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, it's a whole thing with that. And I sorry to cut you off, but just the fact that, yes, I then took that and tried to parlay it into maybe Adam Carolla seeing this and catching gag, but I apologize to Jen and his whole team for like trying to just for wasting their time. In other words, so apologize.
I worked with Adam a couple months ago out here in Huntsville at the club, and in between shows, he goes, "So what are you doing now that you left Stern?" And I give him like the greatest pitch on Rico I've ever given somebody. Like I lay it out perfectly. Took about 2-3 minutes. I'll never forget when I was done. He just goes, that's fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm like, so I heard this story. I go, I don't think he's writing back to John.
Yeah, no, I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
Now, if Mr. Skin was involved, then maybe Anna would be excited about it, but just John.
I also like the idea. John's the kind of guy who would email the CEO of like GM to tell them like, oh, this guy I don't like is interviewing for your local office.
He calls Grubhub on the phone. He knows them on a first name basis, he claims. I've been calling Grubhub so much, I know them on a first name basis. You're not, John. He claimed he was calling Patreon. I got a call with Patreon tomorrow. Karl's not going to be happy about that. You don't. The CEO of Patreon isn't returning your calls, dummy.
Right. It would also be the greatest thing he ever did for you, Dave, if he actually emailed Adam Corolla.
I know.
Yeah, get your name back at the top of the list there.
It really does.
Right.
Marco V 193 $2 quad was a douche for muting Liam FSJ.
Okay, I'll get into it. I wasn't thrilled that Quad muted me every time John ordered him to.
Right.
Because John's move is to scream over you.
Correct.
And my move is to not give a shit about John and what he wants. So, but at some point when someone is yelling at things that are insane and not true at you, you want to respond. And I just started unmuting myself because it was ridiculous. And it's unfortunately, Quad is in a position where he needs people like Stuttering John to come on his show to boost his numbers so that he can make money.
Well, now that he's not getting that Stevie Lou bump, yeah.
But the thing was, I was the guest on the show. I had promoted it all through MLC right before, right? And so, like, I was actually, like, our numbers were there before John ever showed up. It was a lot of people who regularly super chat MLC to call me a fat fuck.
Right.
Were then super chatting his show to call me a fat fuck. Like, I recognized all the members of the Brennan family. I recognized, beloved chatter. Like, all of them just came. So I think it was a little short-sighted on Quad's part to, like, just kowtow to a non-celebrity like that.
Well, Zach Hoffman, member for 2 months, says, Liam, the masterful way you owned that man-child in simple point-counterpoint was fun to watch. Typical 9-year-old boy reactions with anger by John.
I have to refute. I'm just going to say, I'm sorry, and then you go ahead, but I was arguing with a wet brain, right?
Yes.
Like, it's not a point of pride to me that I could verbally outmaneuver him. Anyone could do it. You four could do it in a heartbeat.
I've done it a couple of times.
You've done it. I mean, you
a few
get it.
times, yeah.
What I thought was amazing about the muting is I remember when you and John did a show, Karl.
Yes, the first time, yeah.
And I said this on Rico with the way you went about handling John. It was very similar to when I first came on his show, which was if you don't meet him at his level of anger, it makes him so much angrier. and then when it came to Karl and him, and he would try to yell over Karl would mute him, and he was disgusted. How dare you mute me when we're having a debate? And now here comes Liam saying something he doesn't like. Daddy, make him quiet, Daddy. And Daddy rolled over there and shut him up. That's messed up.
It's very Howard Stern back in the day style because, he gets the other DJ to call into his show and he can crank up his volume, turn the DJ's volume way down, yell over him, win the argument every time.
Here's the problem with that, though. Howard was good at that.
Correct.
Howard was entertaining and interesting. Like, that's the ultimate problem that John doesn't understand. No, go ahead.
Well, when Howard would ask women if they liked anal or what celebrities they had sex with.
He had a charm to him that John just completely lacks. And also, like, Howard, for better or for worse, stopped that. Whereas John still in 2024 is like, do you like anal? I mean, what a mensch.
Also, the thing is, like, honestly, it wasn't like I was screaming over John. I was just saying, hey, show us your apartment. You're not ashamed of your apartment. You've got a great apartment. Take down that green screen and show it to us. And that
pay me $200, fat fuck.
I would have done it. I would have super chatted 200 in a heartbeat to see his apartment.
Yeah, but he wasn't asking for 200 because he's already messed up the
Yes,
job that
correct.
Maria did, and
Yes.
so now he's not willing to share.
How I drunkenly destroyed a family of 4 for $2 says, coming soon to a barbecue restaurant near you. DPM $2. As upset as SJ is at Dave, what harm did he cause? Yeah, no shit. That's the whole thing about pressing charges and shit. It's like someone has to be upset about that. When he's talking about doxing name tags, John's saying that he was doxing name tags. Has no idea what doxing is. He's insane.
There's only one person on this panel who showed the addresses of his mailing list.
Oh, by the way, if you don't want people's names to be known, don't give them big ass fucking name tags to walk around in. How about that?
Speaking of doxing, he was going to show what he thinks is a photo of Tukey's black son on the show. And Quadfather had to tell him not to do that, but John was all ready to do it. John has been duped again. Another photo.
Oh, no.
He's unbelievable. Pat Shan, 5 pounds, says, your thoughts. If Jay cared about reunion, he would have called and picked up bar tab. Oh, that's a great point. It didn't even get on his radar, I'm sure. Jay didn't know.
Here's the other thing about Jay is he's not doing much right now. He's actually at home taking care of Mavis, who has Alzheimer's now.
Right.
So, like, he's doing a lot of local shows around LA. So it's not like Jay is not sitting at home looking for things to do.
It's not just local. We put up his schedule last night on Rico. The dude's traveling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is he really? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I went to see him in a comedy club, and he was there with Mavis, and he was like escorting her around, and so I just assumed he was her caretaker now.
Speaking of that, I saw Link Ray. Do you guys know who Link Ray is?
Link Ray, no.
So he's a guitarist from the 50s and
Yes.
60s. and-
WRAY, yes.
Yes, and he kind of invented the distortion by kicking in his speaker, and he did a lot of surf stuff. And I got to go see him, and he was so far gone with dementia or Alzheimer's, he kept playing the same song over and over again.
Oh no!
Yeah, and his wife's in the band and would try to get him to stop, and then it's just like, okay, he's going, that's fine, let's just go.
I mean, that's like Stuttering John doing 7 times doing "Got myself a bit." I mean, how many times are you gonna do it? Lisa, I'm not listening to you. Let's go. Jesus.
When he was calling people out by name for not singing along with him, and what I love is the video that I was watching of it that Poop on Perry was sent me.
Yeah.
He was panning out, and you were seeing how most people had their backs to the stage. Most people there were just having conversations with people they were catching up with, and had no interest in being entertained by this shithead who can't sing. And he's purposely making it about him and making them join along with his stupid performance.
One of my favorite things about John too is that when he's doing that, that line specifically is what he wanted people to sing along because he thinks it's cool to be like, got myself a beer. Like he's talking to 16-year-olds that are like, we drink beer. That's really cool of us.
Hey, who out there's got weed pipes?
Weed pipe. Oh my god! And then when he started improvising Baba Booey and Tata Toothy, it's
Tata
so
Toothy.
douchey.
Give it up for no homework.
But that goes back to my flex theory. That's him up there giving his resume while in the middle of a song going, oh yeah, I'm the guy who worked with Baba Booey, Tata Toothy. Oh, and Jay Leno. It was all just a fucking look at me party. It was like a Sweet 16 party. For a
I have a
kid.
theory. One of the reasons why he's so upset with Dave is none of the like on-air guys or cool guys who were associated with the show showed up.
Right.
Like none of the musicians.
Correct.
Ross the intern didn't show up. It was just 50 or 60 or 100 behind the scenes and technical guys on a show that probably employed 200, 300 people nightly. Like just none of the what he would call cool guys showed up.
None of the people who have shit going on came to this. Everyone who came to this most likely doesn't have a ton going on if they're willing to go back for an anniversary of the day they lost their fucking job.
Right. It's so crazy.
Why was it on a
dumb.
Tuesday too? It wasn't even lining up with the actual date. So why was it a Tuesday night?
The
I
same
have a-
reason why you did WATP on a Friday night.
No, I do
Tampa.
that. I do that on Friday because that's the weekend when people have off. Why would he do it on a Tuesday?
I have a theory, and my theory is John first wanted to do this at the bar he's a regular at. Like whatever that first bar was, I guarantee that's where he
Pickwick.
goes to drink.
Yeah.
But I think he went with Sagebrush because they offered him a deal. And so
Okay.
like Tuesday night, you bring 100 people to the bar, you get 10%. I've thrown parties like that before. It's like a good way if you have like a good concept to make $1,000 if people are really drinking.
The only reason I agree with you is because the last time John brought a couple friends to the Pickwick, the bartender had to stand on the hood of their car, supposedly, stop them from leaving until they paid. So,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh,
So
DG tried to skip out of the bill when he was there.
and so I'm saying like
Not DG.
maybe-
Yeah, I know.
yeah, the DG.
You thought
and,
you knew him.
And so I'm thinking his next approach when he goes, "Hey, I want to invite like 100 friends." They're like, "Yeah, no, go fuck yourself. Do it somewhere else."
So here's the question I want to pose, and I'll let each of you kind of figure this one out for me. So imagine no one records John doing his song
Right.
with the band, singing the Doors. He comes back on the show the next day to tell you what a great party it was. 100 people were there. Everyone's writing down their addresses for the keychains. They can't wait for the keychains to come. All this stuff. How does he report back his performance that we all got to witness?
So I'm crowd surfing and everyone's chanting, John, John, John.
Yeah, it's similar to like when he talks about being a math teacher and he's like, and I'm like, boom, and the kids are like, yeah.
If
Kevin
nobody,
joined me on stage and jammed.
if nobody was there to document it, he'd come back and tell us the end of Rudy was exactly
Yes,
how
right.
the end of this night happened. I was carried off on the shoulders of Kevin Eubanks and Leno.
Because honestly, I've never heard someone sing that poorly and not stop. And let me explain what I mean by that. So John starts singing the song. It's out of his range. He can't hit the notes. He's not getting even close to them. It's embarrassing. His voice is cracking. What you do at that moment is you bring your voice down an octave so you can at least hit the fucking notes. John doesn't give a shit. He just thinks he's wildly entertaining. That little dancing stuff he was doing in the middle. And he's so... and his version of overweight is bizarre, right? We can all agree that this isn't...
Yeah, I mean, I'm
normal.
healthy. I'm
Yeah, I know. I heard
normal
you
weight.
say you're a healthy fat. Yes.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, that was me. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
But John's nipples are almost in his armpits now. Like, how does that happen? What's going on with that? You saw it firsthand, Dave. What's going on?
Yeah, and he's got this weird kind of waddle to him too that I don't know if it's like his hip or something starting to give out. But did you guys notice that was he wearing I never thought to look down at his shoes, but was he wearing slides? I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it in the video. The guy came in fucking slippers, it looked like.
So I own a pair of Adidas. I think might be the same as what he's
Okay.
wearing. They're kind
I've
of
seen
like
pictures
Crocs.
of those. Yeah.
They're kind of like
Yeesh.
Crocs. They're like sandals, but they're closed-toed, and you slide your feet in. I think that's what he was wearing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and really from the side angle, it really like he has zero chest definition. It's all just gut and then pants.
I mean, I had a friend who died of, well, he died of a bunch of things. He had like pancreatitis 20-something times, and
Okay.
he had his kidney replaced or 2 times, and he was waiting on the list for a third. Like he drank through 3 kidneys essentially. And John looks very similar to the way that guy was towards the end of his life.
I'm sorry to hear that because I did see people saying that it looked like pancreatitis or something. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on, but it is an odd shape that he's in. And
Yeah,
the
like
fact that he's been dieting for the last 2 months or whatever it is, and saying he's losing all this weight. And now he's saying he's bloated because of antibiotics and steroids.
Yeah,
Well-
it's not.
That's how bloating looks like.
That's
Like
not steroid-based.
usually when
No.
you get fat, it all comes down into the gut. But the problem is his is like starting at the bottom of his chest, and it's starting to blob out towards the sides, and that doesn't look right.
Actually, Dave, I hate to tell you this. It doesn't start at the gut is just a part of it. And so the crazy thing, and this is why I think John looks unhealthy, is it's mostly in his belly. Like it's like his in that skin tight shirt he was wearing, you could almost see his organs poking out of his stomach.
The other fun thing is seeing the video and photos of him on stage and his body shape. And then we showed this to Karl 3 weeks ago. He posted a photo of him on his Harley to prove that he still has a Harley. And he's about 100 pounds lighter, it looks like, in that photo.
So crazy.
From
It's
3
so
weeks
crazy.
ago. Yeah. So
Mike, I've never been more envious of you. I've been watching these videos of John and what he looks like now. And I wish
I was going to say, I can't chime in on
out.
this one. All my complaints are audio about John.
Well, there's plenty there as well. And I'm going to go back to the super chats in just a second, but let me just point out one of my pet peeves that's really been bugging the shit out of me. And I'm sure John's doing this on purpose. Hundy.
Oh.
Why? Look at all of you guys. I know.
Well,
why
to that
the
point,
fuck?
you know what I really loved? I was watching when he talked about losing his wallet, and there was something I found so interesting for some reason. He goes, I lost my credit cards. I have all my credit cards in there and $10. 2 fivers.
2 fivers.
As if we're supposed to go, whoa. He's got Lincolns in there. I don't know why I found that so fascinating. 2 fivers.
I might be revealing myself as too much of a nerd, but doesn't he call dollars big ones?
Yeah.
I had 100
large.
big
Oh,
ones.
yes.
Large.
Oh.
Yeah. I just laid down 8 large on the Knicks.
Yeah, the party cost me about 500 large.
500 large.
Fucking dolt.
He really is. Okay, so I pick up here on interest on cocaine with a $1 super sticker. Thank you very much.
Damn you.
The Mechanical Apes, a member for 1 month, says, if there was no video, that performance ends with him being carried by the loving crowd, Spider-Man 2 style. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And it would have been great if and Dave, hindsight's 2020, if we all could have just resisted for a day and let John go on his show and talk about the party and then come out with all the videos.
Man.
Could you imagine?
That is a great idea. Yeah,
I blame Tukey. I blame Tukey for this.
He's coming
this is
down.
why we need to unionize, man. This is why there's got to be some fucking structure here, dude. Because that would have destroyed. Oh,
At the end of the party, I came down upside down, and Mary Jane kissed me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here are the texts I got. Thank you for saving my life, John.
Jay Leno.
Put a pin in that. I really want to talk about the email he received. We have to talk about that. But first, just $5 says, John is upset because you unveiled the truth. Poor attendance, poorly put together, partly bad vocals, and bitch tits. I mean, there were people there. I'll give him that.
Yeah, there were like 40, 50 people.
But honestly, I was talking to Shuli about this yesterday when I popped on Uncle Rico real quick. The way that John talks about this party, you would think he was selling tickets to an event that he was entertaining people at. Because he likes to act like, it was packed. I had that place packed. It's just like, but these people all worked together and wanted to get together and see each other again. This isn't because of you.
He even mentioned at the very beginning of the party that they're gonna play softly so we could talk and chat throughout the whole night.
Yep.
And then as soon as he gets off stage, crank it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point. He
Also,
wanted to turn it into a concert all of a sudden.
I think you guys might have covered this, but at some point he started yelling at the guitarist for fucking him up.
Yep. When he first went to his big line, I woke up this morning, got myself a beer. He said, woke up this morning. Come on, man. Fucking me up. Everything's someone else's fault. It's almost like he's a narcissist because we can talk about FedEx being the reason why keychains weren't there. There's one thing that FedEx is really good at, and it's getting things to places when they're supposed to be there.
Yeah, the band kept playing. The band was still doing what they had to do. How can you say one person in the band fucked it up? That's so dumb.
I know.
Dude,
He's the worst.
speaking of the FedEx thing, I used to work in the Hurricane Sandy recovery ward at the Red Cross.
Show off.
And
What'd they do with the money, huh? What'd they do with all that money, Liam?
In my pockets.
All right.
No one told me there was going to be boasting.
I just watched that episode. Okay. I did, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the drop!" But the thing is,
Fucking who's the 10-year-old? Seriously.
there was a point I completely fucked up. I sent a voucher for new furniture to the wrong place. Ooh. I called FedEx on the phone, and through their customer service rep, managed to get it route to the right homeless shelter within 2 hours.
Okay.
Because these guys needed the voucher for rent before they got out of there.
They're very good at logistics. Yes.
A little bit of expertise on that.
Yeah. Wyndon 49 $2 says, we all know how this ends for Quad Father. Oh, yeah.
In a wheelchair?
Drowning in his own puke.
Moho Buffalo. Oh, boy. What is this song?
I woke up this morning and I got myself a beer.
Take it away, Blind Mike. Tampa Catalytic Converters Corporation.
Catalytical converters.
Oh boy. Great show, guys. But did you notice that Liam is fat?
Wait,
Dude,
what?
Who let this fat fuck? We all see your belly.
This fat fuck, I insisted on coming and yelling at him.
Dave was
Sorry.
Cage $2 says, Dave, didn't you do a line of Hale's Pickle? Off Hale's Pickle. Is that
Yes,
why the pickles are
Hale's
showing
Spark-
up?
Yep, all the pickles.
Okay. Uncle Poopy $2 says, for NPD people equals utilities, resources to get stuff. Yes. There is no empathy. They treat everybody because they're the center of the universe. And so they only surround themselves with people who can help them. And we've seen that with John time and time again. Hulkamania gifting another 5. Who are these podcast memberships? Thank you very much. Don't forget to turn on accept gifted memberships in your settings so that you too can see the bonus content we put out, 2 episodes every single month, as well as watch our show WATP live on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Tomorrow I have Tukey coming on the show as we gear up for Hackamania, and looking forward to that tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you're a member on Patreon or YouTube, you can watch that. Penis Wrinkle 5. Oh gosh, Tukey. I don't know if you guys caught his new character.
Oh, the Ray doll.
Yeah, it's a
Yoy.
Dice
Yeah,
Ray.
Andrew Dice Ray.
Dice Ray. Oh my
He's
god,
got a pencil in his nose.
it's unbelievable.
It's fucking great.
The guy is killer. Penis Wrinkle 12, $5. SJ claims there's no proof he was driving inebriated. He forgot the day before he said he smoked a sativa weed pen. The FBI has been notified. I have a note. I'm going to read it. Thank you, Penis Wrinkle, for reminding me. There was Hopeful Knowledge 180 in Dabbleverse Anonymous, who really did some investigative reporting on John's driving drunk. And yes, we did see John get into his car and drive away afterwards. And we played on Uncle Rico last night and on WATP earlier this week, the valet saying, I asked him 3 times if he was drunk. And he insisted he wasn't because he was the one who put the party on. So,
Well,
And no
it's never been done by a
leftovers.
drunk before, so
yeah, right. Well, he said he wasn't. So,
I watched a little bit of John's show, and first of all, he's going to get that valet fired.
shut up. Did he really say that?
He really did. He really did. 'cause-
Oh, get the
Also-
fuck out
What
of
an
here.
asshole.
Well, partly he didn't know the valet did that, which is a bad sign. But also, some super chatter told him that the valet filmed him driving away, and he's like, "Oh, if that's true, that guy's not gonna have a job tomorrow."
And that's the other weird thing about guys like John, guys like Chad Zumach, is for whatever reason, they think someone losing their job helps them in any single fucking way.
I'm gonna email Adam Kroll right now and
Right.
have him fire Sagebrush.
Yeah.
Here's how I imagine that went. Hello, Sagebrush. Your valet almost didn't let me drive drunk last night. Almost.
Yeah, right. You're right. He is fired, sir. No, but it always goes back to the great Chris Rock bit where he's like, I was waiting for my OJ prize to come in the mail. I never got anything. It's like, why are we celebrating something that happens to someone else? It doesn't affect your life at all. Like, you got to change your attitude on things. Tony
And
Baloney.
we saw him getting in the car drunk with no leftovers. I'd like to mention that.
Oh,
all these
yes.
leftovers that he claimed that he brought home with him. Nothing.
God damn it. Since you brought that up, I have to show this to you guys. This is a couple series of tweets that John put out. So John says, yep, we had plenty of leftovers. I spent over $1,000. But that was a minute after he wrote, LOL, these wet brains don't understand how a restaurant works. They bring out trays of food. When they finish, they bring out more trays, which are hot and fresh. I spent over $500 in food, and we had many leftovers. These people are such uninformed losers. Why do they feel the need, A, to tweet 1 minute apart on the same thing, but B, to say 500 and then make it $1,000 just a minute later? That's more. I mean, you see how John's mind works right there.
Inflation, Carl. You
Right,
gotta
yeah.
factor in inflation.
Biden's America.
Yep.
What are you
Bro,
gonna do?
the party was on Tuesday. I don't know when he said he paid for it, but on Thursday, he already forgets how much he paid for it because he's going through the price. Oh, it's about $500.
He knows.
You should
He
have
doesn't
the
wanna
exact
say it.
price.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if you really had 100 people coming to your party and you spent $10 a head feeding them, you're an asshole.
Oh, I mean, or 5. If it's $500 like he initially claimed, that's not great.
Also, restaurants like that, if they have catered events and their leftovers, it goes right to the homeless. Like, you can call them. I guarantee they have someone come and pick it up in a van and take
Where
it
are you
out.
going to find homeless people in LA? Come on.
they gave it to John. That's exactly what they did.
Tony Baloney, $5.
You look like you need this.
Winter is over. So just don't have the time for DV, but TSN and WTP will always be on my playlist. And Shuli, I love the new SCH, works well with mine. What
New schedule.
The new schedule. Is there a new schedule? God damn, I can't keep track of what you guys are up to.
We're just taking a few nights off throughout the week and doing some longer shows at the end of the week and more paywall stuff. So
more overlapping with WATS. Okay, yep, I see what you're
absolutely. Our goal is to bring everybody down to nothing.
Since we're plugging podcasts, can I just say, if you look for it on YouTube, Blind Mike and Craig breaking down the Boogie podcast is maybe the funniest thing I've heard all year.
Thank
you.
And
no slight to you guys. I
agree. It was fantastic. I listened to it on a plane, I remember, and it was riveting. I couldn't stop.
I genuinely the Boogie. He's an interesting guy.
I took the long way home just to listen to the end of that.
Yeah.
I'd like to just plug MLC. Sorry.
Okay, Dave.
I think I'm going to be on that Monday with Mike Bichetti.
Okay.
Now I'm going to email Corolla and tell him to go back.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking MLC.
Any other plugs while we're here? Real quick, I want everyone to get their chance to promote their stuff.
Yeah, the Shuli Network. The reason why Kevin has a fucking herpes blister on his lip, motherfucker. Go tune into that shit.
Also, on a slightly different note, hacktester.org, where I sell designs on shirts.
Nice. Oh, I like that.
Hackchester.org?
Tester.
Hackchester.org. Beautiful. Carol Dillon, €5 says, Carl, I said this to Shuli today, but John's dyed red hair looks like Joe Pesci / David Ferry in JFK, the red wig.
Yeah, it's bad.
It almost looks like a Lego man.
Mm-hmm. Trump. It looks really a lot like Trump.
John,
if you really take a look at it, which
John
is ironic.
Is Trump minus 50 IQ points. I'm convinced.
And
of
$1 billion.
Really, Karl? His IQ's a 210?
Karl just said Trump's a 210. AO 10, 12, $2. Where's Troy? Oh, that was one of the things that John said. Because as he's yelling at people individually to sing along with him in the doors, it was crazy because he calls out Helga and Lisa, which are two people I'm obsessed with right now, that reality show. Helga Mann and Lisa Boswell, these elderly transgender people that do a political show.
Good.
Fucking love it. I can't get enough.
So good.
Speaking of Van Halen, Lisa was a drummer for Van Halen, I understand.
Wow, not Van Halen. That would be Alex Van Halen, but she did play drums with Eddie Money, she claims.
Eddie Money.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole. But so John calls out Lisa and Helga and then Troy, and Troy's the one who did the amazing caricature of those two that they're all excited about. And of course, a lot of the artwork behind me of John.
Carl's in deep, man.
Dude, it's a simulation. I'm telling you. We're living in a simulation.
Mike, you got to unplug him, dude. What's going on, Mike?
The king of Pennsylvania, $5. Dave Sarra is now a Masonic figure in the Dabbleverse. He walks on water in my book. Wow.
Oh, thank you very much. Jeez.
It's amazing. Erica and $5. Hey, fellas, banger panel this week. TSN WATP for life. Love you, Erica. Thank you so much. And then Melissa Young coming in with 25. Thank you, Melissa Young.
Wow.
Someone needs to get the chat spamming under control. I know. I don't have mods on here, and people are losers.
I'll be your mod.
Okay. The Blackcast $5 is Liam. What happens on Planet of the Apes stays on Planet of the Apes. Stop doing my beverage intake. What's next? Photos of me walking to my car?
Let's not start talking about KB's wife now.
Whoa.
Even the mob wouldn't talk about my beverage intake.
Christian's on his 5th Sprite since the show started.
Yeah, he's pretty wound up right now. He's wired. Nate G, $2 is Stuttering John Melendez Smollett. Yeah, no shit. Dang Lizard €5 says the F on the letter sign and on the wall look very different, but I know for a fact that Karl's S's and text messages are the same. Yes, correct, Dang Lizard. He's so stupid. And then when he falls for something dumb, he can't ever bring himself to be like, yeah, that was dumb. I shouldn't have fallen for that. Like, he goes, Vince the lawyer lies about everything except for Karl's S's. That's the one thing he didn't lie about.
The best was the valet when they were talking to the valet, and he goes, was he drunk? And he goes, I asked him 3 times, and he said, with his voice, how can I be drunk? I gathered this whole thing. And I'm like, what a John answer. Just brilliant. Brilliant.
Even the valet is doing the voice, though, and everything. Like,
Killer, Brett.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, he told me he couldn't have been drunk because he never went to the bathroom.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
That's like a sign of organ failure. I actually looked it up. It's a sign your kidneys are actually on their way out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I'm sad. Now I'm depressed.
Has there ever been a moment where like just anything, even minor, where John's been like unprovoked, just been like, oh yeah, I fucked that up, or I got that wrong, or something like that? Like I can't think of an instance.
Right.
That's why we goof on him, because he can't be bothered to goof on himself. That's why, and he calls himself a comic. Like, people get into this to be shit on purposely. They want it, and he can't be bothered with it, which is the lamest thing.
Well, I mean, speaking of the comedy thing, is like I meant to mention this earlier when it came up, but like the Gary jokes in 2024, like that feels like a Monica Lewinsky bit or something. Like the idea that he got on stage and went ta toothy. It's like, John, what are you doing? That's sad, kind of.
I have to say, I did the Howard Stern after show right before they were like, no more guests.
No one told me there was going to be boasting.
You were the one. I remember.
I really
that.
was. Honestly, I really think I was the one. And I met Gary, and it was genuinely shocking that he is exactly the way he's described on the radio.
Like, is that right?
It's like it was. I wasn't starstruck. I was genuinely dumbfounded.
That's funny.
So was he.
Sorry to bring it to a halt like that.
No. You're definitely fine. So one of the things
I know Shuli's NDA says he can't goof on Gary.
That's the only thing I agreed to sign.
A couple things that I wanted to talk about. First off, there's a lot has been happening in the Dabbleverse this week. It's been a fantastic week, and I have to give credit and props to some new channels that have cropped up. 1-800-Dabbler.
Fucking amazing.
Yes. So I saw this first on Potato Soup on Sunday night. Cardiff was playing this, and then I think Uncle Rico was playing it. So this guy's taking Stuttering John soundboards and doing prank calls with them. And they're so fucking funny. He was like calling a hotel and then talking about like someone's at the door and don't come in. I don't know. It's fantastic. So check out 1-800-Dabbler. Then the other one is Menser Math. Now, this Menser Math video that you guys played, Shuli, you might have played it this morning on the BS show.
Yeah.
Where it just breaks down every insulting super chat that John has to read on his show, and it goes on for almost 7 minutes. It's one of the greatest things. Yeah, it's the most entertaining. It's the most entertaining part of John's show. So you could actually just distill John's 2.5-hour show down to 7 minutes of all the good stuff.
I haven't seen that one. I think that is a good compilation.
It's unbelievable.
I forget exact wording of it, but my favorite one was just, and they're just rapid fire. It's a staircase. They just get worse and worse, you know? And my favorite one in the middle of all this carnage was just like, good afternoon, failure. It was just so simple.
I had no idea that 1-800-Dabbler was actually doing a soundboard and calling it someone. That makes it even more fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I thought
prank calls.
I thought it was just them playing the sound, put it through a filter, playing the clip, put it through a filter, and then dubbed in some other shit. Oh man, that's awesome.
Those are prank calls and they're brilliant.
Fuck yeah.
When does John threaten to sue that person for using his likeness?
As soon as he hears this,
I keep calling 1-800-Dabbler, but nobody's answering.
I mean, Richard and Sal, I remember doing these types of calls with these drops, and I remember being in their studio, and it's just monitors with just tons of drops, and like them knowing exactly which one. It's so difficult, and he does such a great job with it. It really, like Bob was saying the other night, old school feel to it, old school prank call feel to it. It's really good.
All right, let's talk about this fake email. So John gets an email that seems like it was AI generated. That's what it sounded like. The words that it was using, people don't really talk like that. And basically, it's this British person who was thanking John because they're also a stutterer, and John's been an inspiration to them their entire lives, and they just wanted to let John know what a great job he's doing and rise above everything, John. You're helping people like me out, and you're the best. So John reads this email, and it's obviously fake, and John is so proud of himself. The worst part is, and you guys tell me what you think, he forwarded it to his wife and children.
What?
Someone sent him a complimentary email about what an inspiration he is, and his first instinct is, Susanna better see this. She's going to find out what she lost, what she's missing out on.
Was that from Dombo 13?
It's a good question. I don't know. You saw it, Shuli.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's almost like proof of life. This email, like he's letting him know he's still around, and actually good things are happening. You know, it's like imagine if something good like winning the lottery. You send out an email to close people. You know, some AI sending you a bullshit email about how you saved a person's life by drinking beer for fucking 3 hours every day in the afternoon.
You guys laugh all you want, but I've already instructed Hackride to clip you guys complimenting my boogie segment and send it to my girlfriend. So.
Wait, that's the Shuli Agar talking about your boogie segment?
Gosh.
I was gonna dump you, but now I know that.
What I love is John's like, look, I know it's been 8 years since we've talked to each other, but someone finally complimented me.
Dude, it's so, I mean, I use the word pathetic too much in my current line of work, but that is the most pathetic fucking thing ever. And the fact that John doesn't realize it's so pathetic, he actually offers that information up. Like, it'd be one thing if he read the email, thought it was real, forwarded it to his family to justify his existence, and didn't bring it up. His ex-family, yeah. And didn't bring it up to us that's what he did. Right. But then the fact that he's like, and I had to send this to the kids and Susanna. Like, what?
Remember all the nice things you said about your new husband?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Someone said that about me.
Maybe in the next speech you could include some of these talking points.
I have to say, if I was forwarded an email of how helpful my dad was to a bunch of kids, I'd be like, where was that for me, asshole?
Yeah. Yeah, where's this guy been?
Yeah.
I asked John during our fight why he didn't go to his son's wedding.
Yeah.
And his answer was, nobody went.
Yeah. There's no way that's true. There's no way that's true. I guarantee Susanna was there.
I guarantee the priest was there and the family.
The witness, the judge.
It was the snooze event of the season.
Yeah, you get married at a courthouse, you can still bring people with you. Like,
There were no
you know
banners. I mean? There was no band.
Yeah.
You can't get married. Yeah, you can't get married. You can't get married without a witness. Like, you have to.
Right.
It topped my must-miss list.
We actually still goof on Knight for not having anyone show up to his wedding. What a loser. He's not cool with his pops.
Nobody went.
Mr. F everything $2. Why won't Dave do these shows from his home?
Well, the FBI van's in front of my house, and I'm listening on the conversation. Stupid.
Good answer. Joe Spasto $2. How long till John says he sang poorly on purpose? Oh yeah, no shit. That'll be the next thing.
He already said his voice was shot from something else, so it wasn't his fault.
Okay. Was medication probably. DPM $2.
I came down with a case of sativa right before my concert.
John's distended belly is a sign of organ failure. I believe we've been talking about that. It's terrible. Not Mark $2 says John's cover band, The Coors. Oh my God.
Fuck.
There were a lot of really, I was thinking about writing down all the names. There's like Jim Borison and all these different funny puns. But
Can I tell you why he was drinking Corona? Because the bar was out of Coors since I got
no
there
shit.
at 1 o'clock. Yes, the first thing I did was go ask for a Coors. Oh, we out. I'm sorry. I'm like, you're out of Coors? He's like,
John got
we're
there
not
at noon.
I did, but they also fucking that was amazing. Sorry.
So the valet Parker does the bartending as well?
yeah, right. Arcona, member for 10 months, says, I think the party was to impress Brennan by showing him he has friends like Leno. It's very possible. John is always trying to get with Kevin Brennan. In fact, I have a funny video I want to play in just a moment from Reddit.
I would disagree. If he was trying to impress anyone, it's you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree
literally
with
you
that.
guys.
Yeah.
James Quinn, $5. Is Stuttering John narcissistic? He invited 200 people to a reunion for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, forgetting Jay Leno had Tonight Show for 15 years prior to Stuttering John. The real number of alum is over 500. Oh, that's interesting. Only the people who were there on the last day got the invite for this.
Oh,
That is great. That's like if I held a Barstool sports event. It's like,
Right, yeah.
it wasn't really your thing, man.
That's a great point.
It would be great if he invited everyone who worked on Conan.
Yeah, might as well. Salvatore Lopez, $2. Let it go, baby, go. Stuttering John, I'm the Duke, Fatso. TSN collapsed like VTL predicted.
Oh.
Is that the real Stuttering John? I need a
might
frog.
be.
Not.
I need a frog to help me. Well, I mean, it is $2. So
He did call me Fatso, so that checks out.
Earl David Reed, my buddy, EDR coming in. Karl,
Love him.
Between your show and that Uncle Rico, I can't pull away from this delusion is a guy in John's shape thinking he can fight and defeat 5 guys in one day. Yeah, this is definitely EDR. He texted me this earlier today. And it's funny, too, because I got a text from him last week. He loves the Stuttering John stuff. I got to get him on Dabblepoint soon. But he sent me a
have
text.
him come on Rico sometime, man.
Oh, I bet he'd love to do that for sure. He sent me a text. He goes, Karl, I can't watch this guy anymore. You know, this thing, that thing. And then I get a text the next week. I can't believe John threw a fucking party. Blah. I'm like, okay, I knew you would be along.
I've done the same thing. I know what it feels like.
I was going to say, I knew a blind guy who made that same statement, came crawling back.
Never again.
Never.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people in the Dabbleverse that don't like either of you guys, and like I was a guy that was. Well, I was the guy that was watching Stuttering John since 20.
Don't worry, Shuli. I muted him. It's fine. But what were you gonna say?
No. But I personally I love it because I can't listen and watch Stuttering John through without a medium anymore or a filter. It has to be
tough.
through one. It has
hard.
to be through one. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's so repetitive. You sit down, and you start watching Stuttering John. You're like, is this a rerun? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, that's why I give it up to Frog and stuff. Like I've been watching this shit for a week during Dave Sarra week, and like I can't even imagine how these motherfuckers, even though they're getting paid, like it's brutal.
Yeah, well, guess who has to watch Stuttering John for my show?
I know.
Well,
and producer
also-
Chris, I know.
But also,
Yeah, right.
but also to circle back to these newer channels and other creators that are producing stuff. It's so good for this Dabbleverse for people like 1-800-Dabbler and Menser Math, which by the way, somebody in chat corrected me. The actual chat that made me laugh was afternoon shithead. That was what the guy said. It was much better.
I love when people just like call him dipshit and stuff, and he reads it.
That's the best part.
Those are the best. Those are the best part because someone will say like the most scathing thing about his son or his family or him losing his life and everything, and then the next one will just be like, "Hey, dipshit."
Well, Frog's been doing this thing at the end of episodes now where he cuts up the parts of him thanking all the super chatters, but he just leaves in like all the fucked up names. It's like John's gimpy Halloween hand, John likes yummy loads, and it's just him saying all these horrible things about himself.
I watched a little bit of him yesterday, and he read a whole super chat that started like, "How did you feel when your monster child chopped their tits off?"
Yeah.
And then he read the next sentence, and then he was like, "Wait a second."
And that's why all this shit about his family and it's all bullshit. I've said this before. He has said the worst shit about his family more than anybody by reading this shit for $2 a pop. You don't have to. You don't need. You need to because you want the money. That's what he's choosing over all this shit.
Well, the proof that John doesn't give a shit about his kids, and I've said this many times, I made a joke one time on one show, because that's how you're supposed to do it, John, where we were looking at his daughter because she was featured in this article for her college. And I said that, wow, it looks like that's Baba Booey's daughter. That would be an insult to Baba Booey. John has repeated that joke probably 6 times on his shows. Now, what are the chances that Lily's watching my show? What are the chances that Lily's watching his show? If that's such a scathing thing to say, why is he repeating it over and over and over again to get points against me or whatever he thinks he's accomplishing? He's like, he doesn't give a fuck about his kids.
He needs to
actually
use
thought
that
about
as
this-
a white knight. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, good. You good?
That was
I actually
it.
thought about- Go ahead.
Continue.
No, my bad. I was just gonna say, I thought about it the other day that like he always talks about how much he's like, Karl needs me. He talks about me every day. He's obsessed with me.
Yeah.
And the only reason I go back to them is because he talked about my kids. I was trying to think like, what would you say the percentage? Like, yes, you've made a couple jokes about his kids and he's documented them.
Yes.
The percentage of the amount, he's right. You do talk about him a lot. So the percentage of things you've said about him that are about his kids is what, 0.0001% maybe?
For sure. And I
Like at
even
most?
called in, John was on Keanu's podcast a month or two ago, and I even called in and said, John, I don't talk about your kids. You got to drop that. It's not true. It's not what we're obsessed with. Your kids aren't as funny as you are, John. Your kids aren't, we're not worth making fun of. You are.
Yeah, all we did was show himself to himself, and he got
Yes.
so pissed at it.
Penis Wrinkle coming in with $5. I found it odd Stuttering John felt the need to mention chips and salsa separately from the other apps. Is it because they're unlimited? Does he think they're exotic like caviar?
Right.
Yep.
Or did the bar throw it in with the package?
Oh, maybe.
No, because of the piece of the bar that he's getting.
Why are you trashing me? $5 says, Karl, do you think if Lisa Boswell sends John a bunch of nice super chats using her pick from 10 years ago, she could become the new Gina Bobina? Yes.
Wow.
That is a great idea. I had my buddy, this is way off topic. My buddy Vinny Paulina was over today. We were doing a creep off bonus show.
I didn't know there was going to be boasting.
Holy shit. We should get them together. Holy shit.
Oh, well, I mean, Helga was talking about Stuttering John on a show this week. So they're already in the Dabbleverse at this point. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lisa Boswell. Hey, because she talks like this. Do you know that?
It's Gary Busey's mother.
Do you guys know about that?
Could you help me put this couch in my van? Are you about a size 14?
I just thought it'd be really funny if Lisa Boswell was like super into sports. And Lisa Boswell goes on, she's just like, the Rangers have won 7 games. Did you hear about that? Last time they did that was 94. And they won the Stanley Cup that year. That's my new bit I'm going to do if anyone wants to listen.
Yeah.
All right. Why are you trashing me $5? Karl, do you think at least... Oh, that's what I just read. Surviving the news. Yes.
Can I just put forward one theory I just thought of? Do you think Stuttering John waited on buying the keys to see how many addresses he got? And so now he knows he just needs to get 3?
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good theory. Can I very quickly? Let me just get through this real quick. This is the reason why I think the banners were slightly smaller and that he couldn't get the keychains because they had the fucking Tonight Show logo on them. The person that like said, "All right, I'll do this for you," probably didn't realize until he realized that like, holy shit, I could get sued if Stuttering John releases my info or like, or they find out what company did this because you probably can. You can't just be making merch like that.
I hate to tell you.
If you're selling it, that's one thing. If you're giving it away, I don't know that
Hey, it was a
NBC
theory.
would come down too hard. No, it's a good theory.
They're
You're right.
selling it to John, and I don't know if they can use the Tonight Show
good point.
logo.
There you go.
Good point. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And so that's why the Tonight Show was just a fucking picture. And he said it was 6x8 at first or something like that, or 6x4, but they were only like these 4x4 squares. So maybe there was a border somewhere that had the logo that they had to essentially remove.
Could be.
Well, Dave's getting deep with this.
I heard John say like he mentioned something. He's like, people love keychains, and I still have my K-Rock keychain. It's a collector's item, is what he called it.
Item.
And I was like, John, if you just write Tonight Show on something, it doesn't become a collector's item.
Also, the other reason he has it is because it's a bottle opener.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's from the 80s. That thing wasn't even the 90s K-Rock logo.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the over-under that Jay has already called someone to make fun of this reunion?
Yeah. Who do you think? Jay's sitting there watching the Dabbleverse all day. Who do you think is his buddy that he's calling? Kevin
Well, Adam
Eubanks?
Corolla knows him. Maybe he'll fucking give it to him.
Maybe.
I just love the idea of Jay seeing what a shit show it was, and going home like, "Hey Jerry, yeah, so I finally went to that reunion Stuttering John put together. It sucked."
Hey, we were gonna make John our band leader. Are you fucking kidding me with this?
He did not say he was going to be the band
No,
leader.
he did
okay,
not.
okay.
Surviving the news. I think that's Phil Elmore, right? Still waiting for pick of Casey's pin. Thank you, FVTLF Bob.
Yep, that's Phil, all right.
Flashlight Ninja.
I love Bob.
Shuli Network $2 says, just because we block negative chats, we are not pansies.
Wow, you could have just said that.
Wow.
I'm guessing that's
that
Vince the
is-
lawyer.
Yeah,
doesn't
we don't
sound like
throw
them
out.
at all.
There we go.
And
Thank
Shuli
you,
Network
Frog.
says,
Thank
we would
you.
never super chat $2. Thank you.
Thank you.
The real Shuli
Christ.
Network.
Yeah.
I also
Fuck.
love VTL though.
I love you're like, how can I get my message out on Dabblepoint?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just crying anywhere and everywhere he can for anyone to pay attention to him.
I like it when he texts me the software he uses to stream his show. It's super informative. CJ Spags, $50 says, I'm loving that SJ is yelling at his laptop right now. F you, John. Yes. Thank
Hey,
you.
you mind
CJ.
you mind letting me know what software that is?
we can talk afterwards.
Comes with a price.
Why are you trashing me? $5.
When are you gonna have Liam back on? Never gonna happen, John. Never gonna happen.
Oh, next time, if you do end up on with him again, Call him buddy and pal. He loves that. He really loves that.
Truly, I'm genuinely not kidding. Never gonna happen.
Listen, you sound like a blind Mike guy to me, but
That is true.
He'll come around.
he'll come around.
Why you trash me $5? Stevie Lou and Quadfather befriending John to help their popularity makes as much sense as Tom Arnold marrying Roseanne Barr today to save his career. Yes. It's
That's why when
great
everybody's
strategy.
like they're trolling, I'm like, for what? What's the finish line? What do you get?
They can't cross him.
Well, Quadfather's definitely trolling. I was watching a clip where John went down to read an email or whatever he's doing, so Quad knows that he's not looking at him, and that's when Quad starts like giving the winks and nods to the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between trolling, like knowing John's a doofus, and trolling. Like,
Right, that's true.
Trolling, there's an end game of some kind, which
That's
it doesn't
true.
seem like they have, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
My
who's
theory-
trolling? Who's trolling who when you're talking to John off air in your free time?
It's like this.
Yeah, good point.
My theory about that.
Quad's kind of like a doorstop. He's just opening the door. He doesn't have to hold it. He can just sit there in his car, opening the door for all of us to come in, basically.
Yeah, and also it's like the problem with like thinking you're going to be a guest and goof on John is there's nothing to his show. There's no content. There's no plan. There's no structure. You're just sitting there and listening to him ramble and hope you get a word in.
Yes. Real quick, Dismas coming in with 10 something or others. Not reading that. Praying man tits with $2. 100 keychains just showed up. Here, who wants one?
Yeah.
Danny Braffi coming in with $5 says, I've been blocked by SJKB and Clay Dabbler on Twitter and blocked from super chatting John. Do I win some type of Dabbleverse prize? Oh, hey, Jew.
Hey, Danny Brophy. Thanks for the $5.
Yeah, I think that's pride is what you get for that. Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake.
Oh.
Jay was never invited to the reunion. John wanted to be the biggest star there. Nobody cared about John being there. They went to see Jay. That's an interesting theory, actually. You could tell that John was showing off for all of his pals who weren't on camera. Weasel Tails, $2. SJ's true colors are urine yellow and toenail gray. Candace coming in with $2 says, I married the lunatic Joe Russo, but TSN hired him.
Hey, Vince.
Pontiva, member for 3 months. Shuli Network, not pansies, just unfunny hacks.
Well, thanks for
All right.
bringing
I
that
mean,
up.
hey, man. It's like your opinion, man.
Bro, I wish I could be a hack one day then, at least.
You're on your way.
You are.
Stay
Dave.
stay on the path.
Believe in yourself, buddy.
Yeah, you got this.
Jay Wolfenstein, $20 says, I like how SJ threatened to show up to Dave and Liam's shows to heckle like it's intimidating. John, I will fly you out to heckle my open mic debut just so I can be known as the zero experience amateur who destroyed you. Interesting. Yes. John,
Well-
everything that John's afraid of, he thinks you're afraid of. So when he says,
Right.
I'm going to tattle on you and I'm going to get the FBI involved and I'm going to sue you, it's like none of us are worried about any of those things, but John is.
If John showed up to one of my shows, he would honestly feel bad for me. So I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah.
Also, John went to a show in AC and like he was gonna fuck with Chad and he just didn't. Like he just pussed out once he got there.
I think him and Chad were buddies at that time, weren't they?
They
I
were.
don't
They,
know.
they made up or something.
They were, and also people were. He went there with Gino and Keanu at the
Right,
time. He was friendly
right.
with them, but also he showed
was
up
wearing
there as
pants.
almost like an ambassador to comedy, and people were being very nice to him, so he was behaving himself. It was very odd.
It's like the time I went to I did a show. Joe Piscopo was in the audience. And right before I got on stage, the MC introduced him and had him stand up and take a bow. And then it's like, I opened my set by explaining, well, nobody's here going to watch me now. They want to watch Joe Piscopo.
God,
Yeah.
I can't wait till you start talking about your Richard Grieco stories too now.
Listen, man, I'm the king of the Z-listers. So
No one told me there was going to be
yeah.
boasting.
Jenny
Yeah.
G coming in as a member on YouTube. Thank you very much. James Boyd's been a member for 7 months. And are those pickles? I'm out of it. I apologize.
Pickle.
Doesn't look
Those are
like pickles to me.
These are all my
They're
pickles.
weird shaped pickles.
they're cut. They're chopped.
FSJ.
Pickles Cage.
They're chopped. All right. I'm just not seeing it. I'm like Blind Mike on these pickles. I just don't see it. Zach Hoffman, $5. I used to bartend at an old man bar midday shift. Every old man there had the color of John and the distended belly of John, over under 1.5 years. Well, I hope that's not the case. I hope we get to have him longer than that. But Zach, I think you're right about that, my friend. The Judge of Levels is a member for 1 month. I didn't see him wearing the girdle he wore in AC. Did you? No. He was not wearing a girdle for this one. Jay Phoenix, $5. Damn you, Carla. I watched 2 full of streams of Stuttering Drunk this week because of this crap. Also, what were the opening songs? FSJ, 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 FSJ. I know, this is the thing. People, they watch our shows and they go, this Stuttering John's fascinating. I'm going to tune in to see what he's up to. And then they go, oh, this is hard to watch.
Did I see on Reddit that he deleted all his shows from this week?
Oh, did he really?
That's what someone said. I didn't fact check.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Stacy Zito, $5 says, John claimed he was 5'7.5". I saw him in AC and he's no bigger than 5'5". VTL offered him $57,500 if Karl or Shuli measure him. Will he do it? He's definitely 5'5".
Oh yeah, I'm 5'9", and he was below my chin.
Yeah, he's
below.
He's 5'5" and 183 pounds.
You know he's short because he talks in quarter inches.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
actually 6 3/4.
Yeah, nobody over 6 foot does that.
Pet Shan, 5 pounds, says, had to leave in the middle of John telling. Could you retell how to get a joke on this night show? Oof, ha.
Oh,
I know.
Oh my God.
Tedious.
He had the monologue coordinator from
Yes.
Leno at his party, and he's like, I'm going to get Silent Mike. I finally got the goods.
Yeah, he paid money for this party, and he's over there talking about Mike Morse to somebody at the party. I mean, what a victory! What a victory!
I guarantee she was like, yeah, a lot of people fax us jokes, John. I really don't remember Mike Morse.
Mike emailed her. He emailed him back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Quadfather actually got a good joke on John. He doesn't do that very often, but John goes, and you know who she didn't know? He goes, you? No, Mike Morse. How I drunkenly destroyed a family of 4, $2. How to scold and drive, a John Melendez story.
Yikes.
God, you know what? I would love to know the jokes that John wrote for the monologue. I'd be shocked if there's a 1, but if I could see Jay Leno delivering it, I'd love to see what he came up with.
Mike's put up $1,000. He says, I guarantee you I got more jokes on monologues than John did.
Oh,
well, here's the thing about writers' rooms, too, is like they would get together and probably put one of John's jokes in just as a goof. Like, just so they could spend a month making fun of how bad his jokes are.
See what the audience does with this.
And then take it off the air, yeah. Just get the film of it back. See, this is what happened if we would have played it.
Yeah, no, I guarantee it went on air. I guarantee it died. And I guarantee they all laughed for a month about it.
all right. I don't know what this is. I'm going to ask Liam to read this one.
All right, because I do live in Los Angeles,
Yep.
so I know Mexicans.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Oh, actually, I shouldn't say that so loud.
They can't hear over the leaf blowers.
You can't
Don't
say
worry
the
about
M word. He just said J and M. And
John threw himself a quinceañera without the giant puffy dress, like a 15-year-old Mexican girl. Oh,
Wow.
sorry, 15-year-old Mexican girl.
Yeah, Mark
Bartended
Epatisse,
plenty of
yes.
those quinceañeras.
Yep. JNC member for 3 months. How high is Dave today?
Well, next question.
All right. Jay Phoenix, $2. John dresses like Hugh Hefner. FSJ.
I will say I was on the air with Dave after he came back from that party. He's a little less twitchy today.
Oh, good.
Not as many bathroom trips, huh?
Not as
I'm surprised I've been here for more than an hour and a half without moving. So,
Candace Bowden Major. I wonder if that's the wife of one Tony Major. Did y'all catch Vince the Lawyer's intro song today? I did not. It was Afro Man's Because I Got High. The lyrics literally describe John's life. It's amazing.
wow.
It's not
Now
that
we know
amazing.
Now we know how good Vince the Lawyer's show was.
Yeah.
Let's all turn this off and watch it.
We all remember that Afro Man song from 25 years ago. I can't stop talking about
Vince the Lawyer's is clever.
Beavis Lee Ray. John is the equivalent of a mentally challenged 5-year-old with ADHD telling us the sky is green.
Yeah.
GERD.
Steve Morton, $5 says, if John is going to cover a Doors song, the most apt choice would be The End. I like it. John's Skippy Halloween hand, $2. Oh, wow, we got a celebrity in here.
Wow.
SJ should show tracking number if FedEx is to blame, no?
Yeah.
You know, I got to give it to Patrick Melton on this one because he has a rule for Chad Zumak, and I think it works for John too. If they have proof and receipts, they will show it. That's how you know when they're lying if they don't have the receipts. Because if they got it, they're showing it.
100%.
Arctan64, member for 4 months, says, you can tell John thinks a grand is a flex. Yeah, no shit.
That's 10 hundies.
Oh, you know what's really
One
annoying?
lodge.
Someone did some research on John's car. So he's got a 2013 C-Class 250.
At least. It might be a 2009. Sorry.
Okay. You could buy a 2013 for $15,000 with pretty low mileage on it.
Sweet.
And
15 Lodge?
the C-Class is the lowest level Mercedes you can own. It's like what posers buy when they want to say that they have a Mercedes.
Oh,
You can get a nicer Honda.
Oh, it's what you get trapped in when they're going 15 miles an hour on the freeway in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Because they don't have the money to buy a real car.
I just wanted to play this video. We don't have a lot of videos or multimedia today, but this one came in from Pollution Late 7425 on Dabblers Anonymous, and John does not know how the English language works at all.
Kev. All right, have the buffoon on your show. Let's see how I fucking undress you, Kev. Because if I come on your show again, I'm gonna fucking undress you. Undress you. I promise you this. You ain't gonna see. You're gonna get fucked.
Is that one of the greatest things ever? John literally says he wants to undress Kevin and fuck him.
Wow.
That's how I heard it anyway. I don't know.
Wow.
That's how I got on the show.
Yeah. Well, now this drop makes more sense.
KB's wiener is yummy.
All right. So
Makes sense.
makes more sense. Yeah.
All right, Shuli, I wanted to bring this up because I saw this on your guys' show this week, and it's incredible. John's going back and rewatching a debate he had with Shuli, and he's rewatching this and lip syncing along with it as he knows the script. He knows every word as if he's watched it dozens of times. He has it memorized somehow.
Yeah. I've never been afraid of this guy until I saw that clip. That's when I'm like, thank God I have a gun in this house. Thank God.
Could you imagine watching yourself and lip syncing to the things that you're saying? It's already embarrassing enough that John watches himself with that glee in his eye that like, look at me, look how great I am. But the fact that he's watching that so often, he knows it word for word.
That's again to use the narcissist thing. Like I remember, I think it was like Aziz Ansari or someone had a bit about meeting Kanye West, and they went to his house, and he was bobbing his head to his own music.
Yes, right.
And that's what John did. Like I'm sure he's sitting at home. Oh, I owned Shuli here. This was great. Watch this.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. John does so many things to embarrass himself. So the driving drunk, I wanted to point this out because Hopeful Knowledge 180 wrote this in Dabblers Anonymous. And I've seen the video of John getting in his car and driving away at the end of the night. John stated he got to the party at 6:15 and left at 10:15. John said he had 7 beers and a few drags off a very potent THC vape.
I'm sorry, John doing drunk math is my favorite John.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too. It's fun.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
Dave, you were at the party. You were keeping an eye on John a little bit. Do you think 7 beers is right for the 4 hours? Possible?
It was really hard for me to tell. I couldn't honestly make it, but he definitely, if he said 7, he probably had 8 or 9 probably.
Well, look at it this way. We've watched shows where he's had 7 beers. Did he sound anything like he sounded at the end of that night? No.
So it says at 189 pounds, John's blood alcohol concentration would have been 0.10, which is 0.02 over the legal limit. If he's 225 pounds, that's about 0.08, which is still legally impaired. Combined with the weed, he was definitely legally impaired. And is the video enough proof for legal standards? No, of course it's not. You'd have to be there on the scene at the field sobriety and everything like that. But for all of, and listen, I didn't show it on my show because I don't I'm not into that kind of voyeurism kind of stuff. It's like, if he does something embarrassing on the internet, I'm happy to show it and goof on him. But the reason why I bring it up is because John's constantly trying to get us arrested. He's constantly looking for reasons to get the police involved or the FBI or get law involved in some way. And it's like, dude, why not just have an Uber? You were 15 minutes away from your house. Why wouldn't you Uber to that?
I'm a great drunk driver.
I'm sure he's fine. But
What I'm glad is that you just inspired. Remember the math he did with Chad Zumock, where he made him, if I drink 2 beers in an hour, in 45 minutes, how much beer is in my system? Like, he's going to do that to you on the show now. So
if a train leaves Chicago and I got a 6-pack, we get to Denver.
Yeah, he definitely did show up 15 minutes before the party started.
Okay.
So yeah, 6:15 and the party started at 6:30. So he came in, he lugged around the two banners. He's like, I'll put one here, put one here. So then he finally got the zip ties, put them up. I think he had to ask the staff for something. And then they finally started getting, but people were trickling in and they're still kind of setting up and everything. So it was a little rushed to get a little put together at last minute.
Dave, I don't know if you heard me say this, but the other guy who was there, who was sending me some information, overheard one of the waitresses talking to another employee and saying like, yeah, he told us there's going to be maybe 20, maybe 50, maybe 100 people. So we had no way to prepare for this event.
Yeah, they mentioned, I asked the staff also, I asked them how many people are you expecting? And they went, about 100.
About 100, yeah. I mean, that's like the most that could possibly show up to this thing.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing people showed up. I'm glad they did because
Yeah.
they would have been overstaffed, and that's annoying for a restaurant, obviously. And I apologize. I have to scroll through manually to find the super chats in here because I
It's all right.
mistakenly knocked myself out.
Carl, I got to jump off because
All
I
right.
got to grab some dinner, and then we got Rico later tonight at 7. But Liam, you're welcome on anytime, man. Hit me up on X, DM me, so I got some contact info. Mike, we'd love to have you on. Dave, all right, we'll have you
See you
on.
later. Maybe I will or won't be in chat. We'll see.
All right, buddy. And Carl, as always, thank you. Thank you to the fans, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, go watch Uncle Rico tonight on the Shuli Network. They'll have another fun package for everyone to enjoy. And it really is the best way to watch Stuttering John at this point.
I'm banned from his chat, by the way. I won't be able to go on. So
How did you get banned from his chat, Dave? What did you do?
There's too many duplicates of me in there that fuck with them too much, so they just ban all of them.
Oh, so it's not your fault.
No,
You are a narcissist, Dave Sarra. That is proof right there. While I'm pulling up the rest of these super chats, we'll do some quick plugging. Blind Mike. People can go to blindmike.net.
They sure can, and we will be live Sunday at 10 a.m. as we always are. So check that out. Hack Ride filling in for Craig this weekend, so
Nice.
people should be excited for that.
Yes,
and then
yes,
why
yes.
why you laughing is up now as well. So check that out. And there may be a Stuttering John Part 2 Why You Laughing coming soon. So keep an eye out for that as well. Any of you
before a
dabblers.
Dr. Katz one. Wow,
You sent me so much footage that I have to review. I'm still working on it.
Dave, that was something we talked about before the show started. Just
Oh,
FYI.
right. Whoops.
Oh shit, my bad.
Just FYI, no one knows what the fuck you're talking about when you do that. Dave, anything that you want to promote, my friend?
Thank you very much. Go to my YouTube channel, Dave Sarra. You can find me everywhere on YouTube, Twitter. Thank you so much, Karl, for having me on. I love you, Liam. Love you, Blind Mike.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
appreciate it, guys.
For
Dave,
sure.
It's been a pleasure.
And Dave is
Oh,
out of
hi.
here.
All right.
All right. And the Duke of the Dabbleverse, Liam McEneany,
The new
making
king.
his. Is this your debut on Point Dabblepoint? It has to be, right?
This is my point Dabblepoint debut. What you were talking about, where you're like people who think they're going to watch Stuttering John and it's going to be as good as it is on WATP or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my experience with the show.
Yeah.
So I only watch John as filtered through you, like basically because I can't take any more than 20 minutes of him at a time.
It's tough. It's not entertaining as you think it might be. It's really
You know what?
boring.
I'm not. It's now dawning on me. That might be what inspired me to be like, I can't fucking talk about this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Because I did only used to get my John through who are these podcasts, and then once I started talking about him, I would watch his show more, and it just got fucking exhausting. So
Right.
you might be onto something where it's like you got to watch him on Karl's show or Shuli's show or whatever. Too much of him can kill a man.
I mean, that's why when you asked me to be on the show, I was very happy to do it, but I was like, I might only stick for an hour.
Right.
Because I was just like, how interesting is it to talk about Stuttering John? And then I was like, but we're talking about me also.
Yeah,
And
you're in the Dabbleverse now, baby.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well,
Makes it more interesting.
I'm endlessly fascinating. So we could go
There you
4
go.
hours today.
Oh, see, again, he's proving that he's a narcissist. I saw it on Point Dabblepoint. Hold on, I have the clip. Hold on. Wait, where was that? One other thing I want to talk about, I actually wanted to talk to Shuli about this, but maybe
I guess I won't plug anything. Okay.
Oh yeah, you were plugging your t-shirt, your t-shirt designs.
Hacktester.org. I have a Venmo. You can reach out to me on Twitter if you want that. I guess. And what's
your Twitter?
Hey, it's Liam on Twitter, and Radio Liam on Instagram. I'm more likely to see you on Instagram, actually. But also, I don't think I got anything else. I'll be on MLC on Monday with Mike Bichetti.
You will, for real? Kevin's going to forgive you for being on a show at the same time he's doing a show?
As of yesterday, I was booked on MLC on Monday with Mike Bichetti. Even if I'm not on, go and send insulting super chats to Mike because he gets paid, and I like when Mike gets paid.
Dude, when we've had Ray DeVito on WATP in the past, he gets so nervous about the time that we're doing it. I can't be during MLC though, Karl. I can't do that. Can't do that to Kevin. Just so you know, I'm like, we're behind a paywall. He won't know. It's fine. Okay, are you sure? It's like so worried about upsetting the boss with that.
Dude, he's so anxious. It's funny, like he got really mad at me for something ridiculous. But he was just gonna text me about it. I was like, let's do it on your show so you make money.
There you go.
Why are we gonna waste this?
Why are we settling beefs like adults?
Yeah.
Let's do it on the internet.
Anyone else? Look, if I was mad at you, Karl, we'd talk off air.
Yeah.
But with Ray, I'm like, it's literally the only thing that pays whatever he pays in rent.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. So the last topic I wanted to talk about is John's got this new super fan, and the guy used to be a big MLC fan. He's not anymore. He was MLC legend. Now he's just the legend.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And John had him on his show. And so the legend comes on John's show, and he's reluctant to talk about it, but he had a baseball career. He made it to the show.
Yes, I saw this.
Yeah,
allegedly.
He was in the major leagues for 9 seasons with
Allegedly.
various teams. All right, well, we can talk about what you know in a minute. Stop interrupting me.
Sorry,
Mute
sorry.
you, Liam.
I apologize.
But what's crazy about it, the funny part is that the guy is obviously not looking for publicity or anything like that. He's just like, I'm just a fan. I enjoy Kevin's show, but I can't watch it anymore. I'm watching your show, John. I'm enjoying it. So someone figures out who this guy is and super chats John as that person's name. And John goes, oh, geez, I didn't realize that you're putting your name out there. And so then the legend comes back with another super chat that says, that wasn't me, John. And John proceeds to say this guy's name 20 more times on his show. Liam, you know something I don't know, please. What am I missing?
Okay, so I was on MLC. The legend got very drunk, I'm guessing, and decided to put me in my place because he does not care for me because I goof on Ray and he loves Ray.
Okay.
Like he and Ray have actually played basketball. And Ray vouched for him, and we all know it's impossible to trick Ray. So he just, I'll tell you, he started super chatting me like, Liam, you think you're so impressive. I was the number 2 pick in the 1988 MLB draft. Okay. And of course, I immediately went and looked and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't say his name, or maybe I did, but he started super chatting his name at me. And because I was like, so if this is your name, why are you called RPMLC legend? Like what does RP stand for? And he had this whole thing, and his name, his initials are ML. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. But what's funny is now he's a regular guest on Ray's show. So he stopped super chatting Ray. He doesn't pay Ray anymore. He just goes on and makes an appearance and jumps off. So I think he's just kind of doing a tour of these Hackverse podcasts to kind of just get attention because he wants the attention. He just doesn't want to show his face or prove that he is who he says he is.
So you don't think it's actually this baseball player that he claims to be? Is that what you're saying?
I reached out to a journalist who did an interview with this guy.
Okay.
And if I don't hear from him, there's another person I can reach out to. because I only have to work 10 hours a day, Karl.
Fair enough.
The other
Fair
12
enough.
hours I can fuck with whoever I want. No, because I'm like, if there's someone impersonating this guy, he's gonna want to know.
Right. So this is similar to when Cardiff Electric claimed that he was a relief pitcher for the Pirates. And John believed that. Is that the new thing to goof on John? Just pretend you're in the Major League Baseball for a spell and get him to fawn over you?
Super chat from Derek Jeter.
I mean,
know,
Mike, I'm sorry, good.
It's funny that you're skeptical, and I'll tell you why, Liam. Only because John was asking him all these questions about baseball players. And he's like, who was the biggest prick you ever met? And he's like, Barry Bonds. I'm like, that's what I would have said.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
everyone
an
knows,
obvious-
everyone knows
that's a
Barry
good point.
Bonds sucks. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? JJ Watt's an asshole too. I'm like, yeah, I know.
But Mike, his name's Mark Lewis, and he played for the Indians for 4 years, and then allegedly and bounced around the league. I mean, the real guy did.
You're right.
Right.
And he actually had an extraordinary career. But this guy's like, my first at bat was against Nolan Ryan, hit a single. My second at bat was against Goose Gossage, hit a
Fucking old is
triple.
this guy?
Yeah. You know what? That's a good point. Nolan Ryan played over 26 decades. So that's possible he played against Nolan Ryan. But was Goose Gossage still in the league?
I mean, wasn't he part of the 77 Yankees? Am I wrong about that?
I would know. Mike should
You're
know.
probably right. That sounds right. That he would, but I didn't realize how old this gentleman was that was on John's show.
He's in his 50s, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, he basically was in the majors. If he played against Goose Gossage,
Yeah, that doesn't really work. If he's in his 50s.
right? And he was the second round draft, number 2 draft in '88.
Michael C. $2 says, Liam Big McEneany.
Whoa!
That's a good nickname.
Ow!
I'm no longer calling you fat fuck. You are
I mean,
now
but-
Liam Big McEneany.
I insisted on a nickname, and he calls me Jabba the Putz now.
Oh, okay.
I wish he'd work harder on it, but
That's terrible.
That's not bad.
Rick U3220, $10 says, John seems to genuinely believe that he's the main character in a TV sitcom. He gave a big Michael Scott vibes at the reunion. Yes. A lot of people picked up on that. I'm not a huge Office fan, American Office fan, but yes.
Well, John would be an amazing sitcom character, but the problem is, like, he would never be able to. I don't get what's funny about this.
Yeah.
So, like, he couldn't pull it off. But a show about John would be amazing.
it would be great. A show where the main character brings everything to a halt every minute.
Yes, yeah.
Dang Lizard, €5 says, plenty of leftovers, but he ate none on stream. The guy that had the week old nice fresh cucumber. So do vegetables go bad? Melendez threw out food. Yeah, that's a good point too, Dang Wizard. If there's all these, again, the guys like this always show the receipts. You know, if he actually owns a Mercedes, he's going to prove it by showing you his key fab, which he did recently, or key fob, whatever it is.
That'd be great for the next month and a half if he was just eating cheese quesadillas on there.
Right, yeah, then I'd be impressed.
But I can also tell you, LA studio apartments don't come with refrigerators. You have to buy and import your own. I doubt John has a refrigerator.
I'm sure he has a refrigerator. Come on.
No,
A
not
shitty one.
No, I don't have a refrigerator. They're expensive.
Why does he keep his beers cold?
Yeah,
I have
wait,
a-
whoa, time out, Liam. You don't own a refrigerator in your house?
I own too many fridges, and that's just how I do it. But like
What a
a good,
sentence. I own too many fridges.
Too many fridges.
Oh,
Too many
mini
fridges.
fridges.
Yeah, no, Mike.
I thought he was up to his eyeballs in fridges.
I was thinking the same thing. This guy goes from I don't own a refrigerator to actually I have two. Like, whoa, which is it then?
I have 43. It's too many fridges.
Yes.
No, I have too many fridges. That's all I need, really. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just I've been unless you want a piece of shit that smells like garbage, and you want to bring it in yourself, like you have to pick it up, haul it to your apartment, or pay someone to haul it to your apartment and bring it in. I don't think John is capable of putting that together.
Can I make a quick statement? LA's a shithole. I don't know why anyone fucking lives out there. That place is garbage. I hate it out there so fucking much. I don't know why anyone
Can't
lives
be
there.
right that owning a fridge is impossible in Los Angeles.
Yeah. There's got to be tents on Skid Row that have refrigerators in them, right?
The best was my friend moved out, and her roommate insisted that she take the refrigerator with her because it was hers. And my friend was like, "No, I'm buying a new one," and she had to figure out how to get rid of her refrigerator.
Wacky world out there.
LA problems. Janet, the evil lawyer, $5 says, when they showed John through the gates at the first on stage, I promise you, I thought it was a Homer Simpson statue. Yes. Yes, the first filming that Dave had was through those little gates from outside. And John's got an odd shape to him, very cartoon-esque. Duransky's Bait Shop, $5 says, Shuli, when you are in town for DabbleCon, I'll take you fishing on beautiful Lake Riley. I promise no fish police.
It is the Wild West in Nevada.
But DabbleCon's in Rochester, so okay, whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about Hack.
I don't know what he's talking about. There is no Lake Riley where I live. I live near DabbleCon, so whatever. Gonzo, member for 9 months, says, please keep telling us about how great you are, Liam. I don't think we've heard enough.
I did drop a couple of big names earlier. Apologize.
Plaguerat, $5 Australian says, at the reunion, what do you think John's answer was to when people ask, so what are you doing now? Oh, that's a great question.
Oh,
I think he wanted it.
But what is his answer, though? What do you think he says to that?
Here's what I think. I think he would never answer that directly. I think he probably went around just like, yeah, so there's this thing called the Dabbleverse. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's kind of centered around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a podcast. I kind of got this cult audience of fans now, you know.
Brian Venucci comes in with $5, says, John threw himself quite the, oh, God damn it with this fucking word.
Quinceañera.
I've never had to use that word in my life.
Well, you live in Rochester.
That's true. Happy Valley Wrecking Crew, $5 says, keychains, banners, chips, salsa. He is the great Gatsby of Canoga Park. Seven large. Yeah.
How many times do you think he mentioned you and Shuli to people at that thing?
Oh, that's a good question too.
You know?
Yeah, because he thinks that all the trolls, he thinks that like we send them.
Right.
Like he thought that Tukey was the one who sent Dave Sarra. Like I was DMing with Dave Sarra while he was there the entire time. I didn't send him there. He's just like, hey, I'm at this thing. Like, oh, cool. What's going on?
And you touched on something earlier that like I didn't really think of, but because in my mind for a minute I was like, oh, that's cool that like that is kind of a win for John that he got all these people there. And then I realized like at my 10-year reunion, a kid that I went to high school with set it up and just invited everyone on Facebook. And like, I think when I ran into him, I was like, oh, thanks for doing that, man. But like, it's not like a tear streamed down my cheek. And I was like, you've done such a service for us. Thank you.
And it's not a difficult task either to do that. Hey, let's all meet at this bar over Thanksgiving.
Right. It didn't dawn on me that the Tonight Show is big enough that it's probably just like, oh, yeah, that guy invited us. That was nice of him.
Right.
I mean, I remember when I worked for a company and then Jimmy Fallon put it out of business all of a sudden. We had a 10-year reunion and everyone was so stoked to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Seven large. That'd be funny if Jimmy Fallon's staff showed up and beat everyone up.
Get out of here.
7 large every $5. Shuli, say it with respect. Lodge. Troll under $2. SJ should show keychain order confirmation. There is none. The $4.95 Marauder, $5. Shuli and Skip Gay Tips, love you. Shuli and Skip Gay Tips. Is that my name? No, Skip Gay Tips? Narcotics.
I like that.
Narcotics Anonymous give out keychains. Why did SJ... Oh, Narcotics Anonymous go out keychains. Why did SJ decide on keychains? Because they're cheap. Valentino...
Hey, everybody, the NA on this keychain stands for not airing. Don't worry.
Liam, you got to let me read a couple of things.
I'm sorry. I'm going to mute myself. I'm muting myself.
Just give me a second. Eddie Valentino, $5. If John really deleted his show, what's the point? He should know by now there's people recording his shows for clips. Yes, he does know that, which is so annoying. And then when he deletes stuff, I think he does it when he's drunk and he's like, that's embarrassing, deletes it, and then pretends it's for the paywall. Yeah. Bob doing a COVID test, $2. I'm not a Shuli, but I stand with Shuli's TSNWO. Interesting. Nice. Bold stance in 2024. Dave Owens, $5. Thank you very much. Carl's Frosted Tits, $5. Carl, you are all on the list, and I'm calling my lawyer. Why is the left side of my body numb and I'm slurring words? And then Uncle Jack coming in with $5. Thank you very much, Uncle Jack. Troll Hunter, $2. Dave and Liam, a warm welcome to the Dabbleverse.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the Dabbleverse, Liam.
Thank you.
Uncle Jack, member for 1 month. Got to say, I'm liking Dave on the panel. He's delivering. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Dave brought it today.
I felt very bad. I interrupted him twice. But
it's okay.
nothing I can do about it now.
Nothing you can do. The Creep Off channel coming in. My buddy Vinny Paulino, $5. Good show, gentlemen. John has ET tits. Yes, John is shaped like ET. People have been pointing out. It's very
Is that
true.
right?
Yes. Jay Phoenix, $2. Lisa Boswell sounds like Terry Funk. It's right. I sound a lot like Terry Funk. Can you believe that? TJ, $5. Shuli's here. 1600 again. Not suspicious at all. True talent to wear the same 1600 drop everything, anytime, any day. To hear his nasally grating voice. I can tell you that Shuli's not buying views for my channel.
Oh,
I'm not buying views for my channel.
Sinister. He's buying them for your channel now.
I'm not buying views for my channel. I haven't done an emergency episode in a while, but the last time I did, I think we had 2,500 or something. There's a lot of interest in Stuttering John, believe it or not.
There's a bot farm in Macedonia that hates Stuttering John.
Yes, right. That whole bot farm can't get enough of this content. Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake, $5. 7 beers over 4 hours. 1 beer disappears after an hour. So technically, he only had 3 beers. Perfectly fine to drive. That's right. There's the John math. That's doo-doo, baby. $2. I'd get in a car with Blind Mike rather than Stuttering John. I don't know about that.
We can set that up.
Dang Lizard, €2. Karl, you're allegedly extorting Stuttering John cease and bitch tits. Might be lost in translation, but I like it. John's son's a tranny and a ceases.
Jesus.
Wait,
John's son's a tranny and a sissy.
and a sissy. Thank you. For some reason, I thought that was a joke about his mom, so I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it. Liam and Dave, we speak your names. Welcome to the Dabbleverse, hashtag All-Stars. And John's Gippy Halloween hand, $2. He was sweating drunk before party when streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He did the stream before the show started, which I did not actually get a chance to watch. Did you guys check out John's show before the big party?
No, so he was drinking on that?
I don't think he was drinking then.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
But
he really
he was
needed to
sweaty.
show up not drunk. And I think that might have been part of the problem was he had to show up sober.
Yeah, well, you also if you're organizing the thing, you're probably also supposed to kind of leave sober, you know?
Yes.
In an ideal world.
Right. But if you're an alcoholic, things are a little different.
Sure.
I'm still blown away that he got up on stage and performed and never once the thing that John that's shocking to me, because I'm just not this person in any single way. Mike and I were talking about this where we were watching Ric Flair get kicked out of the bar for being drunk.
Yeah.
And he's like arguing with everyone and wants to fight everyone. And Mike and I were talking about it last night. I'm like, I don't have that confidence level. Like if someone says you're being obnoxious, you got to go. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Right.
I feel bad to leave my tail between my legs.
I'm being obnoxious. Fuck you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't have it in me to
I
react
was
that
wrong.
way. But the fact that John could get up on stage, and again, I can't stress this enough, a third of the people were even facing the stage who were still there. Most of the people are not paying any attention at all. There's just a acoustic band in the background. They're just talking with people they haven't seen in a while. And John's thought is, I got to turn this into my show and get everyone to participate and sing along with my performance is insane.
I mean, but the other thing too is not only was he doing that, he was calling out his former coworkers for not doing
Yes.
the call and response he was ordering them to do
Correct.
individually.
I see you over there, Lisa. Come on.
It's true.
Brenda in accounting, you never sing with me. What's your problem?
What are the
It
odds?
was so weird.
There's no way he got their names right. By the way, I guarantee.
Well, they were wearing name tags, so maybe he was able to read them.
Oh,
It's very possible, I guess.
Agatha, Helga, whatever that says.
Let me just finish up real quick.
Sorry.
I know Shuli caught me in my warped sense of what's going on in the Dabbleverse and everything colliding and coming together right there. Dang Lizard, Liam, did Ray teach you stalking or are you just nosy? Oh, good question.
I would say this guy comes out swinging every time I'm on Ray or MLC.
Dang Lizard
And
does?
no, Dang Lizard. Dang Lizard also hates me, but I'm talking about the legend, which is what he's talking about. And my thought is like,
Oh, gotcha.
if this guy's being an asshole publicly under a real guy's name, that's kind of a fucked up thing to do. And if he is the real guy, then I can confirm it and just ignore him.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. But the thing about Ray stalking is interesting. I saw that video today where
I do
Ray admitted to creating a sock account to follow Ari Jane around after he blocked her after the Detroit thing. Yeah. And then and Ray was bragging about having 3 or 4 other sock accounts. He's like, yeah, trying to figure out who those are. I use those to spy on people too. And I was like, ooh, why are you saying
So I was on
cool.
Ray's show.
Cool. That's pretty cool, Ray.
So I was on Ray's show, and after that dropped, and I was like, so Ray, you have a Twitter account to stalk people? He's like, no, I have 3 or 4 Twitter accounts. Yeah, I just need to like sometimes look at people's stuff I don't want to do it on my regular account. It's like, what?
It's so weird.
Jesus.
Nefarious PIG, $5 says, John should start charging to tour his Canoga Park residence. No shit. He'd make a fortune on that.
Yeah.
Nalax 44, $5. SJ keeps his beer in the box next to his couch. No fridge. That's true. He might. I swear I've heard him open the fridge before. I think he has a refrigerator.
And he had those vegetables that one time. They got to be somewhere, right?
Well, who knows with John?
Right. They might be rotting under the bed as we speak.
So I just had this thought in my head. You guys, I'm sure you've looked at houses before, or I think Mike's in the market right now, and they have those 3D camera or the 360 cameras where you can go in and you can kind of navigate around in all the different rooms and walk down the hall. You can do it all virtually, right?
Yeah.
So John doesn't have to have anyone in his place. He can just set up 1 or 2 of those cameras. It's small.
That's true.
And charge for people to do that behind the paywall.
That would be fun.
I'd
John's not
pay
taking
for
advantage of what we find interesting about him.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. He doesn't understand. He could be making a lot more money. Nefarious PIG $2 says, I live in LA. I have a fridge. You are a dork, Karl.
Well, can I tell you what I like about that though? I'm sure John has a fridge.
Yeah.
But I like that now it's been put out there that John has to respond. You really think I don't have a fridge? Like, that's a thing he has to answer.
Now they're saying I don't have a refrigerator. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what? My lost interest. Please clip this and send it to him.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Hecko Burrow $2 says, you guys keep assuming people wanted to talk to Stuttering John. Yeah, I can't imagine they did. Lionel Hutz, Mr. Fusion 2 says, I'm finding these ET comparisons to be offensive. All right, sorry about that. Dang Wizard 2 Euro says, Carol can't say, oh, God damn it.
Quinceanera.
Carol can't say quinceanera, but KKK rally, no problem. It's one of my initials, sir. Janet the Evil Lawyer, $5 as John. A guy that night told me, John, I always knew you had the stuff. I only found out later he was the Tonight Show janitor.
I'm surprised John has never thrown out that he was kind of vetted like for Fallon's gig, you know? Like Fallon replaces Leno, John slides into late night instead of Seth Meyers. I'm surprised he's never tossed that out there.
No. He applied for a writing job on that show.
He did, yeah.
Right. I think he could have hosted though.
Yeah, no shit. When he thought he was going to take over Howard Stern on Sirius XM, it was one of the greatest things ever. All right, I'll finish these up and then we'll do quick plugs and get you guys out of here. Thanks for staying a little bit later. I appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah.
Mike Cutts says, go Rangers. Mike, my daughter and 400 other NY brats visited Fenway today. Question, chaperone, all these kids or hang out with John, FKB?
I'd head down to Fenway. It'd be much easier on many levels for me.
Yeah, and if you lose a few, I mean, there's 400 of them. They come back with 389.
You gave them to me. What did you expect?
Yeah, that's fine. Close enough.
I would also say talking to John for an hour is overrated.
It's tedious. Lionel Hutz with 2 more Australian dollars. Karl, you look like Jared Fogle. Stop denying it. I'm not Jared Fogle. Stop telling me I'm Jared Fogle.
His name is Karl. He's Karl.
Mike, way to see no eyes, and hi, Michael Moore look-alike. Ooh.
Whoa.
Lionel Hutz is really taking us all down now.
That's very hurtful.
Way to see no eyes. Dang Lizard, €2. Karl, people are saying you're obnoxious and gotta go. Yes, they are saying that I'm obnoxious and have to go. I have to go watch the Amherst play tonight in the playoffs. Oh, but they're not letting me. All right. Mike, blindmike.net.
Yes.
That's where you can find all the shows that Mike does, which include the Blind Mike Project, which is Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, live on his YouTube channel, and also Why Are You Laughing, which is a fantastic show about the history of comedy. And, of course, Who Are These Socials that he does with yours truly every Thursday at 6 p.m. on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. You can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes, thank you, buddy. Yeah, if you're watching, obviously, on YouTube right now, go over Blind Mike Project on YouTube, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, all that good stuff. And subscribe wherever else you get podcasts. And if you want to become a member, we have YouTube members and Patreon members, whatever platform's easier for you. So all those links are at blindmike.net. Check it out.
Beautiful. And before you leave, Kyle Lakey, $10 says, coming in late, we'll watch later. Blind Mike, get out to Vegas or Rochester this summer. New guy. I saw some clips. You were awesome with John. Will you be a fixture in the Dabbleverse?
Well, I'm definitely already a fixture in the Hackverse.
Okay.
And yeah, probably. I mean, I'll be back. I don't know. I'll be Karl, if you promise I don't have to watch a Stuttering John show, I will come back.
I make that deal with a lot of people to be on the show. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm used to that. I'm used to that deal. No problem at all. And Mike, we do have to get you to DabbleCon in Rochester.
Do we have a date yet?
We do. So Buddy Dickhead says, what's the latest on DabbleCon 2? Tickets on sale? Tickets are not on sale. We have to make that happen. I was talking to Vinny about that today. It's August 16th and 17th. That's the weekend that we're doing DabbleCon 2.
That's possible. I could see if I can do that.
I like that. Nefarious PIG, first Velcro shoes, now no fridge. That's slander. I know. It's going to be a whole thing.
Slander.
Mark Atkinson says, I think his fridge is broke down. He had his apartment cleaned and so his landlord could come to look at it. Oh, interesting. You know what? I read it in a super chat, so it must be true. Lionel Hutz 5 says, trust me, John is, oh, God damn it.
Orthopterus exomorphs.
Keep going.
Just Edgar the Bug from Men in Black 1. He moves and talks like him. He's actually stranded here on Earth.
Very good. And one more, Lee. You're earning your paycheck today. One more, Liam.
Okay. Thank you, Mike Cuts, for the $2. Karl, will you please roast Steel Toe?
Yes. In fact, we did yesterday on Who Are These Socials. You can find that still up on under the live channel of Who Are These Podcasts or wherever you listen to shows. We were making fun of Aaron and the way he was dealing with his co-host breaking down and crying this week, which is insane.
If there's as much as you said, I may do a little more on Blind Mike Project. I'm going to watch the full thing.
Okay.
I thought we kind of covered it all, but if there's a bunch more, then maybe tune into Blind Mike Project on Sunday.
Well, the only thing I'll tell you is that like everyone's been covering it this week.
Oh, really?
I've seen everyone breaking it down, but it is worth checking out.
I actually feel bad because I talked about it. We talked about it on MLC.
Yep.
And I was making fun of this Johnny Crutches guy because he was like, and I have to do 2 DJ gigs next week.
You're right.
And then Lemmy was like, actually, he's dying. He can't walk and he's in end stage MS. And I was like, oh,
Jesus.
Yeah,
right, you won't hear me talk about it on Sunday.
No, it is brutal, but that's why the way that Aaron handles it is crazy.
Exactly.
It's bizarre. All right. And Lionel Hutz, more sugar, became super chats, more super chats. Whatever. You know where I can find Fusion Core, need ASAP. All right, kids, let's get you out of here. One more time, Liam, people can find you on Twitter.
People can find me on Twitter at Hey It's Liam, on Instagram at Radio Liam. You can find me selling shirts and designs, hacktester.org. I sold a Bruce Springsteen design this week, and I sold an iPhone cover with Betty Boop on it, both of which I don't have a license to do. And also, you may or may not see me on MLC on Monday, where people spend $5 or even $10 to say I look like Michael Moore.
Very good.
Wow, that's fun.
All right. And, of course, hackamania.com is where you can go to see us live in Las Vegas, May 31st through June 2nd. Use the promo code WATP for 20% off your tickets. It's going to be a blast. Check out hackamania.com. I think Dick Masterson and Vito Giswaldi have just been added to the lineup. Biggest problem in the universe. So that's worth checking out. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Lionel, does Blind Mike have eyes like Riddick's? A lot of movie references going on.
Dude, that's Australian. Dude, that's Australian $2, which is like 50 cents. You can skip one of those.
Really? That's all you got?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the show. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Dabblepoint. A Stuttering John Melendez roundtable discussion.